Hello, everyone! We are no longer muted, and we are ready to play the Blood Plague. And for some reason, I have two Donathan Fries and not. It's fine. I'll fix it. How is everyone doing today? Don't know what happened there, but it's fine. It's the Blood Plague. We'll blame it on the Blood Plague. So we'll start with the man that is here the mostest. Dawn, how are you doing today? Are you ready for this?
I am ready. Yeah, I'm really excited to be here. Thank you for having me back. I had such a great time in our first episode a couple of weeks ago for Halloween, playing with everybody. I'm really glad I get another chance to do a little bit more of the Blood Plague. And it's really just an excuse to have fun with you guys. So I'm looking forward to it. Please forgive me for whatever happens next. It's not my fault.
When you put it like that, I'm not sure if I believe you.
I don't believe it.
Very trustworthy. I'm a very trustworthy person.
The most trustworthy. Excellent.
Today's episode, we're going to call it Grotesque Revelations. That's really just because I wanted like two words that sounded cool and I put them together. That's the name of the episode. And I'd love to start by going around and having everyone reintroduce their characters. You can mention why your characters found themselves incarcerated in the dungeons of Ostwald, and how your characters are currently doing now that you've escaped Ostwald. And I'm just going to go ahead and say, let's start with Deadeye Donald.
Oh, all right. Yes, deception check here. Regular on Lindy's channel. Yes, I'm playing Deadeye Donald. He was only in a prison for 10 days, and he was just there because he had a little bit too much fun with the noble's wife, and that noble didn't enjoy it very well. So, yeah, he felt really put upon by being in there all 10 days compared to the rest of everyone that was there for a long, long time, especially Zenkar, something like 50 years or something like that. I don't know. Donald's doing great, it just a little bit of blood when he coughs, just a little, I mean, it has nothing to do with Gracie spitting blood in his face or anything like that. It's just, he probably got hit by those dogs really hard, and it's just, a little internal bleeding or something. I don't know. Everything's fine. It's great. I don't blame Don for anything yet.
Oh, well, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Let's go ahead. Speaking of Zenkar, and tell us about Zenkar and where Zenkar's been and how he's doing now.
I am playing Zenkar. I am a worshiper of Kasuth, and I want to light the world on fire. And I've been in this prison, or the prison we just escaped from, for, I think it was 70 years. And I was framed. I'm done.
Definitely framed.
Definitely not arrested for arson.
Not arson.
Right. Did not set pretty much everything he ran across in the first episode on fire. That was somebody else. Moving on, let's meet Gracie and find out how Gracie's doing. Hi, Lydia.
Hey, so thank you for having me back, Lindy. Thank you for running another game, Don. Gracie is probably fine. Coughing up blood is fine, usually, in my experience. So anyway, she found herself in the prison because she was doing a lot of healing during the battles going on at the Civil War, and whoever found her healing somebody from the opposite side that they were fighting, and they put her in prison.
And since she's escaped from prison, what has her experience been like?
Pretty weird, I would say. Gracie has a trinket. It's a book, a journal that's written in a language that she can't understand. She spent a lot of time trying to figure it out, trying to read it, and it is doing some weird things to her. It is kind of acting as like a spell focus almost. So hopefully we'll maybe read it one day or figure out if it's, just tormenting me for fun.
We'll see. We'll find out. Great. Well, let's meet the leader of our crew, the good Officer Anderson.
Hello, I'm Officer Anderson, and Anderson's been put in, wrongfully so. He was a cop, a good cop, a detective, an agent of the law and of the land, and was all for justice. And somebody he trusted backstabbed him and got him in the prison. Got out with this crazy bunch of people. Spent a little bit of time there plotting his revenge and how he was going to get out and do it. And now they're out. Now it's time to move on and hopefully take it to the person who put me in there all the months and probably years ago. So that's about it. Just trying to keep the group going.
He was just 2 weeks and 1 day from retirement.
I know. So close to getting that pension. So close.
I think that's the biggest tragedy of the Blood Plague. I think out of all the tragedies, that might be the greatest.
That's true.
Speaking of tragedies, Lindy,
What?
would you like to tell us about Lady Gwendolyn?
I would love to tell you about Lady Gwendolyn Dryden. There's no one here that's definitely criminally insane. Lady Gwendolyn, this is her whole life story, guys, in a nutshell. She had a happy family, 2 kids, husband, it was alright, but he was, wealthy noble. Her sister caught the blood plague and died horrifically, like a town over. She was like, ooh, gosh, that's awful, I don't want that to happen to me. She dreamed she made a deal with some kind of devil or demon, and when she woke up, her entire household was dead. And she may have been holding the murder weapon as the, law enforcement entered, but no one can prove anything. I don't remember what happened. I definitely had to have been framed and didn't murder my entire household. So I was in jail for a year and I busted out, Everything's fine. I'm not a few marbles shy of a game of, marbles. It's fine.
And I think they wrote a musical about her story called Ostwald the Musical. Most of it takes place in prison.
Yeah.
So those are our characters. Just to sort of introduce anybody who is new to Penumbra and the Blood Plague, who's in chat. It's a dark fantasy world, low magic. There is magic, but it's rare. So a lot of times characters reskin magic spells as mechanical devices or inventions or anything of that nature. This is a world that is found itself in civil war. Many nobles fighting over power. There's one powerful figure who has risen above the others to take control of Ostwald and most of the Midlands Kingdom. And that's Sir Wenton. And in one way or another, except for maybe Zenkar, who was in prison for a very long time, he's had a hand in all of your in prison. Now, that said, there's also a plague ravishing the land, and this is like the bubonic plague, but worse. It's the blood plague. It starts with a cough. It might be a cold, but it's not. And as it progresses, people begin to bleed from their nose, their mouth, their eyes. When they die, usually a few days after contracting the disease, they are bleeding from every open pore in their body. It's a horrific thing to see. And if you've lost loved ones and had to see them like that, it's an image that would be very difficult to ever forget. That's the blood plague. Now, our adventurers, when last we met, you had all escaped Ostwald Dungeon with your lives, but at the cost of losing your companion, the good knight Sir Diggory. He died to a horde of undead, plagued monsters in the bowels of the dungeon. Escaping into Arkham Forest, you were plagued by terrible dreams of a wheelchair-ridden old elf, the Heartless Man. You found yourselves the next day all hiking along the border between thick woodlands and a waist-deep, stinking swamp. It's then that you nearly tripped over a small pile of stone debris from an ancient ruin. You found yourself standing in what once must have been some sort of stone monastery, though its walls have long since crumbled and its secrets have worn away with time. A few hundred yards to the south, a half-sunken tower emerges from the muck and the mire. Though the tower's doorways and windows have long since collapsed in on themselves, blocking most entrances to the ruin, its northern wall seems to be missing almost entirely. This has left much of the tower open to the elements and to would-be explorers. Officer Anderson led the survivors towards the ruin, followed by Zinkar the Mad Fire Cleric and Lady Gwendolyn the Innocent. Gracie, still plagued by whispers from the journal, the book, the diary that she keeps, and strange visions, felt herself drawn back into the forest and away from the ruin, and Deadeye Donald rushed off to find her. There, out of view of her friends, Gracie came face to face with an old elf in tattered robes, his body covered in strange tattoos. He sat in a creaking wooden wheelchair, smoking a dirty wooden pipe, and he smiled at Gracie. And Gracie smiled back. He speaks to you, Gracie, now. My, you are a strong one, are you not? Not on the outside, but somewhere deeper.
Well, no one's ever said that to me before, and how would you know?
I am more perceptive than most. I can see the truth that lies beneath this thin veil.
What are you doing here in these woods?
Roll me a perception check. It's strange. You've been speaking to him for several moments, and he continues to converse with you. You're not sure how or from where, but his voice isn't coming from his mouth. In fact, his lips are not even moving. He's just locked in that same still smile. Why, I'm here for you, Gracie. I wanted to meet you. I've dreamed of you.
Well, here I am. Did you have something more to say?
I wonder what it is you want now that you've had freedom, now that you can do whatever you wish. What is next for you?
Well, if I could do anything, I think I'd like to get closer and learn more about the plague that's wreaking havoc on our land.
I myself am a scholar. I know much of the plague. I have seen it ravish this world. If you wish, I will share my studies with you.
I wish.
He raises a hand, draws a long puff from his pipe, and blows out the smoke from his nose, and that smoke swirls. It changes color from gray to blues and greens, and you see an image, a cloudy image, dance before his head. It looks like a waterfall crashing over a pretty tree line. Come, Gracie, follow me. I will take you to my library.
I follow him, if he's moving.
He slowly begins to wheel, turn, and move around. Deadeye Donald, you've followed Gracie into the woods, and you finally catch up with her. You see her standing there, mumbling something inaudible beneath her breath, something about wanting to know more about the blood plague. Standing before Gracie, almost within an arm's reach, is a dead man. Most of his armor has been ripped off of his body, but he must have been a fighting man once. Small, smaller than most knights. Entrails hang from a gaping hole in his side, and most of his face has been rent away from what must have been strong, sharp nails. He raises his hands to his face, and his bare knuckles crack and clench. And then it's that you realize that you know this man. This is Sir Diggory, or at least what's left of Sir Diggory. Roll me a perception check.
Okay. Nope.
It's in that one.
Yeah.
This is what you see, Donald. This is all you see.
Okay, and he's within arm's length of Gracie, and she's not reacting to it at all.
She's mumbling, but
Okay.
It's almost like she's in a trance.
How far away am I from them?
20 feet.
I'm going to start moving towards Gracie. Gracie, get away from that, and I'll start throwing daggers, like all of them,
All right.
like everyone I have. Just the first. I'll throw the first one at him.
So first roll me a persuasion check.
Persuasion. Okay, I am great at that.
And Gracie, roll me a wisdom saving throw. As he calls out to you and the Heartless Man is wheeling away, you see the Heartless Man wheel behind a tree, and then it's that you see Sir Diggory, or what's left of Sir Diggory, right in front of you. He just appears there suddenly. Both of you roll me initiative, and we'll get this moving. Sir Diggory, his arms already up, even as you reach for your dagger, he moves faster, and he rends at Gracie's face with his fingernails. And that's going to be a 21.
Yeah.
He claws into your face, leaving a gashing wound, 4 slashing damage. Donald, it's your turn.
All right. I'm going to throw my dagger, and I'm going to try and make it a trip attack as well if I hit with this one.
All right. That does hit.
All right. So let's see. Haven't done this one before.
Is it
all right. Superiority die, so I add a D8.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 1d8. It's an extra 5 damage, and the
Dexterity.
DC strength saving throw against my DC, which I believe is higher than a 4.
I'm sure he fails. Yeah. So how are you tripping him with his dagger?
He's reaching for Gracie, and she's probably backing away as he goes to strike. So because he's dishapen, malformed, destroyed, his entrails leaning in different directions, his balance is off, and I recognize a point that if I hit him, so I hit him right on his plant leg in the knee, and I imagine that it takes the knee out and he goes down onto the ground.
You see the knee bend in ways that knees are not supposed to bend, and you hear the snapping of bone. He drops onto that knee, his other knee bent. That right foot, the foot that is part of the leg that you did not hit, is still planted, but he is knocked prone. It's then that you see his body, what you can see of his flesh, especially around his torso and his midsection, begins to expand rapidly. Anything else on your turn?
I see. We were 20 feet away, so I will. I'm going to run up and interpose myself between Gracie and Diggory. I'm going to action surge. I'm going to take the short sword that I picked up, and I'm going to try and stab it into Diggory and pin him to the ground.
All right, take that attack.
Oh.
You drive the blade straight through half broken armor, half open organs, and you pin Diggory to the ground. And as you thrust that blade through, that expanding midsection releases a foul-smelling gas, and it reduces back into his body cavity. You see his undead eyes staring up at you, his lips twitching almost as though he's trying to say something. And then he goes still.
Sorry, Diggory. Gracie, we must get out of here.
I'll back away slowly with him, but still keeping a bit of a distance behind him.
Is there anything else you want to do at the moment, Gracie?
Oh, actually, you know what? I wouldn't follow him right away. I would probably go behind the tree to see if what I saw was still there. You said that the elf in the wheelchair went behind a tree, right?
That's correct. Roll me a perception.
I would go look for him.
You don't see the Heartless Man as you turn behind the tree that he had wheeled behind, but you do happen to glance up and you see two other figures. One, a small skeletal shape, maybe a child once, climbing like a spider on all fours down the tree that you're standing directly in front of. And another figure hanging from a branch from its legs like a bat. This one's a tall, plump, dead man, more recently dead, face still mostly intact. Looks like he must have been rich in life, maybe a merchant. But them are very much needed alive.
They've spotted me for sure.
Oh, they've spotted both of you.
Excellent. I'm gonna slowly start to back up and say, like, I can't believe he's not here. I don't know why he would lie to me. And then I would try to turn undead.
All right. And what is at your level? Tell me what's the
This DC, it's 14.
And what's the CR rating that they, if they're under, they will be destroyed if they fail?
Oh, I think it's 1/2.
Okay. What do you pray for? How do you, or what power or mechanics do you use to turn undead?
You know, I don't have my my spell focus, so I think that just without realizing what I'm doing, I would go through and just kind of like touch the pages of that journal with my thumb and like silently say a prayer.
And as you do, as
like with my eyes closed too, because I'm kind of naive.
Deadeye Donald might witness this, but Gracie, you feel it in your thumb. Even as you start thumbing through or touching the book, it opens of its own accord and the pages begin to a specific page until your thumb lands on that page and you hear those whispers again, except for this time, you can understand a little bit more. Follow me, Gracie. I will show you everything you want to know. I will show you the way through this strange world and give you the answers to the plague. And then you say your prayer and you feel an energy right up through the book into your hands, through your body, And above you, that skeletal child falls into bones, pieces clattering to the ground, raining over top of you, and moves no more. The other figure, the hanging figure, upside down, drops from the tree. It's his turn now, and he falls upon Deadeye Donald, trying to claw at him with his own fingers. Be a 21 to hit.
That hits.
Be 4 slashing damage. He scrambles back up to his feet. And he's a large man with a lot of strength and a lot of force, and he's already beginning to reach for you again. We're back up to the top of the round, and Donald, it's your turn.
I'm all right. I'm going to grab my other short sword that I just happen to have, and I'm going to definitely not taking the one out of the ground because that guy's staying pinned. I don't want him getting back up. I grabbed this one, and I'm gonna try and trip this guy as well and get him on the ground. So I'll make an attack with a short sword, and I am freaked out and miss.
And you do hit him, but he's meteor. You get him in the thigh, but it's almost like your blade sticks against his fat and against his bone.
Gracie, we have to leave. What are you doing? That'll be my turn.
Gracie, it's your turn again.
Is he like in melee range of me, or?
You could get into melee range if you wanted. You're about 10 feet away.
Okay, in that case, I'll try to shoot him with a guiding bolt.
All right. That's a hit. And how do you do this? What is your guiding bolt?
I guess I would just put my hand out with my other hand still on my journal, and just like bright blue, like radiant light would shoot forward.
And again, your journal whispers to you, "Follow me, Gracie. Follow me. You have seen where I am going." And again, another burst of energy through that journal into your hands. And Donald, you're seeing magic. I don't know if you've ever seen true magic like this before, besides what you've seen Zenkar do. But that blast of blue-white light entirely immerses and disintegrates the large man in front of you. His eyes are the last things to go, and they hang there as his body dissolves around them and then fall into the grass.
What did you just do?
Oh, sometimes I think and I speak with the gods, and they allow me to save myself and others around me.
Is that what you were doing with Diggory?
Yes, I can't do it often, though.
I wouldn't imagine you would stand that close to something like that, even if we knew who he was. We're in the open. We need to rush. Everyone else has got a safe place behind us. We should leave.
The voice that I'm hearing, is it just in my head?
I'll allow you to roll me your choice of Arcana or Religion.
I'm better at religion.
You're not sure. You've heard these whispers before. Have you ever asked anyone if they heard the whispers too?
No.
You're not sure. It's a very strange sensation. It's invasive.
Okay. I'll take my hand off my book and follow Donald.
And as you take your hand off the book slams with a thud. You follow Donald as you are headed back towards the others, I take it?
I grab my dagger out of Diggory's knee and then start heading back the way I came.
All right. Well, for now, let's return to Officer Anderson and the rest of our survivors. As you begin to wade through the edge of the swamp towards that nearby ruin, roll me your choice of nature or perception, all three of you.
Okay. 11.
I double
Did you
statted
think
both
you
of them, so it's really a toss-up. We'll just go with nature.
Zenkar, you're the one who notices this series of, and just a few, but definitely bipedal tracks barely visible in the bank before the swamp. They are going into the swamp and out of the swamp towards the forest and back into the swamp. They're fairly fresh, you would guess, within the past couple of days, day.
This area is well traveled.
What do you mean? What do you see?
There are
Surely
tracks
there
here.
can't be tourists in here. I mean, look at the place. It's practically falling apart. I'd hate to think of anyone living here. It's disgusting.
Only a
Ugh.
fool or somebody wrong with them would come here. Something probably really wrong with them.
I assume there's a fool or someone mad around here.
But there's no one mad here. So,
Indeed.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? Well,
yes.
keep an eye out then. Let's just keep moving, alright? We need to get to those ruins. We need to find a place to take shelter for the night, and that's the best thing that we got around here.
The swamp smells like rot, and it's difficult to move through. Waist high at parts, but you don't have much resistance, and the tower isn't far. It only takes you a few minutes to get there. The only open pathway into the tower is that collapsed northern wall.
Officer Anderson then will take the lead, and he'll hop up onto the rubble.
Be careful.
Alright, I will. Just be quiet a sec. And he's gonna methodically climb hand and foot through the rubble. I don't know how big this pile is, but climb through it and get on top and look inside and see what he sees. Like, you know how you're slowly cresting your ridge and you're trying to constantly look over that climb to see what's in front of you. He's doing that.
It's not an incredibly tall pile, 8 feet to get over, but it is difficult to find footing in the loose stone and the wet dirt. Roll me an athletics check or an acrobatics check.
Fail. Please fail.
20.
Officer Anderson's a beast, remember?
Flex.
Nice
And
job.
You find 1 foot, another foot, a third foot, and on the fourth movement, you're up to the top of the wall. One of the stones falls out from your foot underneath into the swamp below with a soft splash, but the wall doesn't crumble.
Anderson kind of freezes at that and listens and sees if anything is moving from that splash.
Roll me a perception check.
Splash or just a splunk? Because that's, let's see, a 12.
It's just a splunk.
Okay.
And you can now see up and over to what lies within. First, you know that you could probably push this small pile of rubble over so that it's easier for your friends to traverse to get in and out of the ruins. The inside the tower itself is a barely recognizable mess of stone and shattered architecture. You cannot tell if this place was brought to ruin by some outside force or if it's just the victim of time and climate. At the center of the circular room, a strange statue rises from a marbled altar. The statue's been swallowed by a sticky-looking black substance, but it does retain the vague shape of a man. A man with strange snaking tendrils where arms should be. A man with eyes that almost seem to be looking up at you, too real to be made of stone, peering at you through the obsidian goo covering the figure's face.
Anderson freezes in place, and he just stares at it with a really intense at it, daring it to move, daring it to blink. And he's going to reach down and grab a fist-sized rock, kind of looking at it, and then he's just going to sidelong lob it with the intent either to make it move, hit the black goo, some kind of an effect.
Roll me an athletics check. You miss the statue, and it strikes the rubble and swamp just to the right of it with another splunk. The figure doesn't move. In fact, it doesn't move at all. The eyes don't move. They don't shift their focus. They're not really staring at you. They're just staring off, you realize.
What's going on in there?
Yes, Mr. Officer Anderson, please enlighten us. You've been, I believe you've already crested the wall. It's just, are you taking a bathroom break? Like, you could have just said something.
No, nothing like that. He turns and looks down the rubble pile at him, and it's just a statue up here. He eyeballs the rubble pile,
Okay.
and he's like, it's a weird statue. You'll see in a minute, but look, I don't know how you guys feel about climbing up this mess, but I think I can make it a little easy for you to step aside for a second.
Oh, if you'd like to make it easier for me, I'm all about that.
Yeah, whatever. He's just gonna get on the top and start pushing
Here,
the big
I'll
rubble
help.
piles
And I'll
down
just...
and clearing the path a little bit. Use small ones, whatever. Kind of a mini little rock slide to try and make it easier. If that makes
Get that rock.
Is that one that... And I'm going to use... wait, I'll help you. And I will use Mage Hand. And I kind of just, basically, puts a barrier between my hand and it. And it kind of reaches out a little further and just... So I don't get my hands dirty.
So you have a hand on top of your hand?
Like underneath it. So
Okay.
I'm not actually touching it. But... Because my hands can't get dirty. I'm just brushing away a little bit.
Right. You're stronger than you look.
I'm a lot more things than I look.
It doesn't take long for the two of you to clear the rubble and create a walkable path that leads into the tower. You can all see this now too, the statue in the center of the tower, and also now a number of old bodies, very old, entirely decayed, moss-covered, looked like they were once maybe soldiers or guards. And there are here plenty of old pieces of worn weapons and armor.
Well, this is disconcerting, but I suppose we've seen worse at this point.
Better than prison.
Very true.
Hell, he's Cress here, familiar. He's going to go down and look at some of the armor and try and get an idea of timeline. Is this people from the original castle, or is this somebody more recent? See if anything strikes memory with them. See if it looks familiar for anything.
Roll me a history check.
Okay.
The first thing you will notice is that these are very old, but Officer Anderson has read a lot about the history of the military forces in the area, or at least read enough that he knows the symbol that you find on several pieces of armor. These were all soldiers of an order called the Shattering. The Shattering was an order of elvish warriors and knights who were sort of ideal knights, goodly forces who went across the countryside and did good deeds. They would pull cats out of trees, and they would fight terrible beasts. They were a noble faction, but they have not been around for a long time. They went extinct right around the time that the humans became the dominant force in the world. It's been a couple of 100 years, so these bodies and their armor are very old.
My God. This is very old.
Well, no
But,
wonder it's a ruins.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a closer look at this statue.
It's entirely covered in this black liquid that doesn't drip. It's a little sticky. Besides the eyes that are peering through 2 holes in the goo, just blankly outward. Well, how do you want to investigate?
I want to look at those eyes.
Stare deeply into them.
Oh, there we go.
The one thing you will know being this close is that though this seems to be a statue, those eyes are most certainly not. They are real. Those are a person's eyes, or were a person's eyes. And there's not enough decay to suggest that they've been there for very long.
And I like see them moving, I assume?
Not
No.
at all.
Okay, they're not moving.
They're staring blankly outward.
This is rather strange.
Ian, what's up?
The statue has fresh eyes.
Fresh eyes. It's a statue.
Look closely.
Step at him and kind of look at him quizzically, then kind of look at the statue more, because he saw something that wasn't right with it when he climbed the wall. Good look at its eyes.
You can see what he sees. To see more about the statue, it's kind of difficult because it is covered in a layer of this black goo.
I don't like this at all.
Where are the others?
Coming back by now. Look, how about you two,
Yes.
for now, stay on top of the rubble pile, away from this thing, and in sight of maybe our friends coming back.
Worry not. I shall perform tests.
You perform those tests carefully, whatever it is you were planning to perform. I'm gonna dig a little deeper and somewhere safe we can hole up, but
All right. Yes.
I'm not too keen on staying here.
I'll keep an eye on the path to see if our associates arrive. In the meantime, Gwendolyn's going to be looking for any valuables to take to, restart her life as a fancy lady.
Roll me a investigation or perception. I'll let you do either.
Same. We'll just. Oh.
It's mostly old armor and weapons. Some of them, because of the quality of their original make, are still useful. So you could easily find no ranged weapons, nothing that fires like a crossbow. But if you need any sort of sword or spear, that's all very easy to find. If you need armor, you can find armor that will be gross but will serve. With a natural 20, you also find several, and this is buried actually in the gunk at the foot of the statue.
Mage hand.
several gems.
Ooh, just take those. Oh, good. And I'll pile any of the decent armor or weapons to the side so that my compatriots who use those type of things can reclaim them if they wish.
What did you just hide away?
Oh, what? Me? Nothing. I was just digging through this goo because I was helping you perform tests. Should we burn it?
Yes.
Okay.
Can Anderson be on the other, casting a sidelong glance like, oh,
Okay.
God.
But just in case, before we burn it, I would like to pick up some armor.
What kind of armor?
I found a bunch. It's in a pile over here.
The heaviest armor I could find.
I'll say if you're able to find chain.
chain mail or chain mail.
Chain mail.
Chain mail. Okay. And then
I'll
can
kind
I
of
find a shield?
Yeah, easily. Just a simple shield.
I'll get a stick and I'll kind of like try to get some of the goo on it. Let's see how flammable it is. Would you want to set this on fire, Zenka?
Of course I do.
I just figured it was polite to ask.
Just a moment. I gotta slip it
yes.
on that armor.
Well, while they're doing that, can Anderson be pushing a little bit deeper into the ruins, as far as he can, at least, within reason of the start poking around and seeing if there's anywhere else to haul up, any other creatures, anything, armor, weapons, equipment, creatures, hidey holes, whatever. Just make sure the place is clear.
Roll me your choice of investigation or perception.
Time to be a cop. Investigation or perception. 8.
It's difficult to find anything of particular value. You realize that this might not have even been where you're standing, the first floor of the tower. It's sunken and collapsed in so much. It might go deeper into the swamp after 200 years. It's very hard to say. You don't find any clues. You don't find any signs of life. You do find plenty more of that black goop that's on the statue in various places. It's different than swamp water. It's something different.
Okay. Well, he'll poke around while they're getting ready to do the test.
And what is this test?
Well, first I try to torch it with a torch. Slowly. Okay.
I have some like on a stick, like some goop that I kind of scraped up on a stick. If you want to burn that first and see how it burns. Or we could just torch the statue directly. Gwendolyn's totally fine with just setting the statue on fire.
I'm going with that.
All right, let's do it, Zinka. All in testing. I'm down.
The goo burns like most things do. Takes a second for it to catch, and it gives off a black, choking smoke. Nothing harmful. And as the goop starts to burn away, it begins to fall off of the statue as well. And then it's that you can see that this is a statue of a nude man with no nose, no mouth, no ears, no reproductive organs, and no arms. Time has worn down the stone so that it's smooth and lacking detail. The most notable features are tentacles where arms should be, and these things are crafted almost like they've been attached after the statue was created. Their material is alien and strange, and the statue's eyes, which burn last, they do appear real, not made of stone. They seem to be pinned to the statue with some sort of piece of metal. And as the fire licks upwards towards the eyes, those eyes burst open, and a viscous, stinking something bleeds from them like molasses. Even though you were looking at the statue, you know that they once belonged to a person, every bit as real and alive as you are now. And as that realization begins to settle in, the three of you hear something. It's a bzz, 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 and then you see it. It's a flurry of wild bees from some sort of nest that was crested at the foot of the statue, and that swarm begins to whip.
Are you saying the smoke didn't calm them down?
They do seem angry. They do seem very angry.
Smoke pisses them off. Okay.
Anderson from the back end of the room is going to start barking at him. Quick, out! Everybody out now!
Oh dear, bees!
Out.
Oh!
And he's going to be trying to push and shove them back the way we came, out over the rock wall and down to the swamp.
My armor will protect me from these bees.
No, it won't.
I will cast Expeditious Retreat
All right. So
I grab onto her.
and go.
here's what I would love for us to do. First, everyone can roll me an Arcana check.
Oh, lovely. I'm proficient.
Then everyone can roll me initiative. You guys are welcome to run. But you still have to roll initiative.
I have
pretty
no
sure.
idea what these magic bees are about. It's crazy. Nat 1 Arcana check. Just...
9 for
Strangely enough, it's Officer Anderson and Zenkar, and perhaps it's because of your observations the previous day. You recognize these bees are larger than regular bees, and there's something different about them. Zenkar, you feel it. It's an instinct, but you feel confident. They're not alive. These are undead, just like the creatures you face down in the tunnel below.
Undead bees.
Ooh,
Undead bees.
That does not sound fun.
no.
All right.
And let's see here. Yeah. All right. 1 second, so I can get you all an initiative.
Oh,
And
boy.
Donald, you can go ahead and roll me initiative 2, just so I have it. All
You
right.
want me to roll mine as well?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just get everybody on these undead
Just
bees.
checking.
Better believe it.
Oh my god, Lindy.
Oh, behave.
I hate you both.
All right.
Oh, critical initiative.
What?
So as you all begin to scramble and do your various things, first up in the initiative order will be Zenkar.
Yeah. Bees! Undead bees!
What?
And
Burn them, Zenkar!
am I? Do I? Can I even disengage from a swarm?
You're the closest because you were the one holding the torch. So you can't disengage. I mean, you can step back 5 feet, but that would be your action.
Okay. First, I want to swing the torch at the bees because just natural reflex.
Yes.
Go ahead and make me a melee attack.
All right.
That's a hit.
All right. What's a torch? 1d6 fire damage?
Yeah.
All right.
They move around the fire, and you hear some of them pop, 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 pop in the fire. But it's a large swarm, hundreds maybe.
Ooh.
I'm going to hear a lot more popping by the end of this. Okay. Yeah, then I run.
All right. So they will get an attack of opportunity against you as you move away.
Thank God I put on that armor.
And that armor does protect you now as they bounce against it, and you're able to move up to 30 feet. Are you moving towards the entrance to the tower?
The north wall.
The north wall.
Yeah.
We'll say you're able to, with the 30 feet, get to the north wall, to that opening. All right. And Anderson, you're next.
I'd imagine he's on the other side of the room, and he just barked for everybody to get out. So he's going to move that direction as well. And if there's a swarm of bees in front of him, he's going to blast through it with some, with his club, baton, whatever you want to call it, whack his way through, try to get to the other side and head towards the rubble pile.
So you're on the opposite side of the room. It's about 60 feet between you and the rubble pile.
Okay.
Do you want to use a dash action and just run through and take an attack of opportunity, or do you want to run halfway and then swing at the bees?
I think he would run halfway and take a swing at the bees, just because he's just trying to do something to stop them, try and protect the people.
All right. See if you can get their attention.
Alrighty. And kapow.
You do.
Ah, they're angry. Okay. Well, he's gonna take a whack at the bees with his baton and keep barking at everybody. Out, out.
All right. And how much damage does that do?
Let's see. Roll 1d4. 1.
It's hard to punch bees. You're good at punching things and swinging your baton, but they're difficult. But they do begin to swarm around you.
Okay.
Is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
Gwendolyn, you see all of this occur. You're about 10 feet away from the bees. You could also, with a movement action, 30 feet, get to the north wall. Are you still casting Expeditious Retreat?
I believe so. That sounds like a good use of my bonus action. So yes, I will Expeditious Retreat. Get towards the wall. I'll turn around and then I will Eldritch Blast. I'll just be like, "Gah!" again at the bees.
All right.
Bad bees.
Take your shot.
Alright. Let's see how terribly this goes. Oh, I need to roll that. Haha, I know how to D&D. Roll 1d8, 20 plus 6. 18.
That's a hit.
Alright. I think it's a D10. Yes, excellent. 7 points of damage.
And this seems more effective than swinging a baton or even the torch. You see a hole open up in the swarm as you blast a portion of the bees, but then that hole fills back in.
With more bees.
And
That's why I'm 60 feet away.
you're at the north wall at this point. Is that your turn?
Yes, that was my action, my bonus action, and my movement.
All right. The bees begin to swarm all around Officer Anderson, engulfing him. But you're able to ward them off. They're stinging at your face. It's unpleasant, but not painful. And we're back up to Zenkar. Zenkar, roll me a perception check.
All right.
All right, it's your turn.
All right. I push Gwen out of the way. Out of my way!
You're running back into the swamp, right?
Yeah.
You,
Get out of this place.
As you climb over the rubble and begin to move back towards the swamp, roll me a strength saving throw.
No.
Okay. Fall back on top of her.
You slam into a
My
you
bad.
slam into a body that you didn't see as you climb over and turn the corner, and suddenly you're looking at two of those unliving human monsters that have just appeared at the edge of that north wall. It's a nude woman. She moves aggressively, quickly, her arms swinging like those of mad apes, and behind her, some sort of robed revenant that's following, lurching more slowly. He wields the same sort of wicked halberd that you would know typically belongs to the Knights of the 100. Both of them are now looking and moving directly for you.
I'd rather deal with the bees!
You run back into the tower.
Yeah, run back into the
I see Zenkar running back, and I get really confused as to where I should run. I'm like, what is it, Zenkar?
Guys! Bad! Monsters!
God! Fuck!
Zenkar, you're able to, are you using dash action or just a regular movement?
Well, how much movement did it take to get over the wall? Or through the wall?
Difficult terrain, so 10 feet to get through, 5 feet to stand back up after running into the woman. So you have 15 feet left. You could get back through again and a little bit in.
Okay, I'm going to do that.
All right, so you still have your action. The woman does take an opportunity attack. I'm guessing an 11 misses you.
You got that chainmail on now.
Let's see. I am going to attempt to I'm going to take out a bottle of alcohol and throw it on the torch and make a thrown flame.
And who's what's your target?
The bees.
The bees?
Yeah.
Perfect. You are able to burn the bees, and this seems, even though it's only 2 radiant damage, particularly effective. Again, you hear pop, 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 and the swarm begins to dissipate a little.
I do like that sound. That'll be my turn.
All right. Gracie, Gwendolyn, rather, you're at the edge of the wall, and that woman, her arms swinging, almost touching the ground as her knees are bent, climbs up over the wall with much more ease than you would, and she reaches her arms directly for you.
Can we not? Oh, I believe that hits me. Yes, that does hit.
Should have put on heavy armor.
I don't wear armor. Yes, that will hit me. Oh no, we lost the dungeon master for a moment.
We lost the dungeon
Just
master.
kidding, that didn't
He
hit
looks
me.
really happy.
He's so happy. I didn't get any damage. In fact, I just murderize it. Everything's fine.
Everything bursts into flame. That's okay.
We just burned the forest
Donald
down.
and Gracie appeared just in time to kill everything, saving all of you.
Yes. All escape.
I'm hoping that's what happens.
We all survived.
There's no way that she could possibly touch me. And if so, she's getting my other spell slot. 'Cause fuck that. I will hellish rebuke if she
He
does
really
touch
does
me.
just look so happy.
He's so happy.
He's happy to know our death is coming.
And we're back and unmuted. Everything's fine. The blood plague hath defeated the ice storm. Thank you all so much for being patient and hanging in there. Our DM has power back, and we are good to go. I believe I was, like a zombie lady was just trying to give me a hug.
So here's where we left the scene, just as a quick refresher. Deadeye, Donald, and Gracie, you were just breaking the edge of the tree line to the swamp. You'll be joining us here in just a moment. What you see is a robed revenant wielding the halberd of a knight. Within a little ways into the swamp, just a single movement away from you if you want to try to reach it on your turn. A little beyond the robed revenant, undead woman with arms swinging like a mad ape, rushing towards Gwendolyn, who stands on the northern wall of a sunken tower. That ape attacks Gwendolyn.
Lovely.
The ape.
Yes, that it hits.
And that will be a hit. That will be 4 slashing damage as it rings
Excellent.
you with its claws.
Awesome. I would love to make a reaction, if I may.
Absolutely.
I would like to get just filled with fiery passion and hellishly rebuke this thing that attacked me. Because that was just rude. I feel the power. Oh, it has to be at 2nd level because I'm a warlock. And I just hellishly rebuke it, because I feel so offended that this peasant undead woman would dare touch me. And I just lash out at it in Infernal.
Her hair burns away at your words, but she seems otherwise unfazed.
Alright, well, that's fantastic. So, yes, half damage because she's saved, but yay!
You do see Gwendolyn, since she is right in front of you, that as her hair burns away, so too does her midsection begin to expand rapidly.
Dear!
Like a balloon.
Oh, fantastic. This is great. Alright, I'm done now.
Gracie, it's your turn.
I think I walk into this a little bit. What'd you guys do while I was gone?
Help! There's an undead beast, and now this plebeian is deigning to touch me, and it's an undead stupor.
I mean, I'll see Gwendolyn in her panic and do what I normally do against an undead, which would be a guiding bolt. Nah.
And it flies wide of its mark and strikes the moldy stone of the tower itself and sizzles. You hear the whisper from your book again. You're going the wrong way, Gracie. You know where you have to go.
I think hearing that in my head, I'm taking it pretty seriously, and I would probably turn around.
All right. Do you move back into the trees?
Yeah.
Gwendolyn and Donald, you witness as Gracie fires this bolt, and her eyes glass over, and she turns and starts to move back into the tree line.
Honestly, I don't blame her.
Meanwhile, inside the tower, Officer Anderson, you are being swarmed by these zombie bees.
Let's see. I saw then Zinkar come running back down the rubble pile inside.
He's just made it inside the tower.
Gwendolyn, top of the rubble pile in this. Do I see the creature lurking in? The thing that tried to attack her?
You can't quite see the creature, but you can tell that it seems like Gwendolyn's struggling with something.
Something's going on. Okay.
Something physical.
Anderson's is going to just bark at Zinkar, deal with the bees, and he is going to use a key point to step of the wind and disengage from them and charge up Lady Gwendolyn. And see what's the distance to get up to her.
With the step of the wind and your movement, you're able to get up to Gwendolyn side by side with her now, and you see this nude woman, her belly distended, growing, her hair burning away.
And he's going to, eyes wide, gonna just take a hard and kick her in the chest, the creature, and try to kick it off the rubble pile.
All right.
Guess just. Oh.
That's a hit.
Okay. And then. So, as a question, just for monk's sake, do I get the bonus because I'm a monk for kicks, or is that?
Or what?
For my damage, I do 1d4 plus 4. Okay, you got it. And hit it, and I'm trying. I was trying to do a flurry of blows attack. Is that something I could do with a wave the open hand blows, or do I have to specify that beforehand? Okay,
Yeah,
then don't worry about it. Just a kick then to the chest. That's fine.
The kick is enough. As you strike the chest, the midsection of this woman, you feel it give and release, and you smell a noxious gas. And as it descends into the woman and she begins to fall backwards, she explodes in a shower of gore and body parts. And I need you and Gwendolyn to both make me dexterity saving throws. You're able to dive out of the way like an action movie and avoid. You see as the body parts hit the ground, as the blood spatters, it sizzles acidically. But the woman is no more.
Well, if I still got movement left, I guess Anderson would be like, "What the heck was that?" As he's like standing back up and looking to see if that'll end his turn.
I don't know.
You find yourselves still both there at the opening of the tower on the north wall. Gwendolyn, it's your turn now.
Oh, it's my turn now. Fantastic. So she's dead. There was a creepy guy standing behind her coming this way.
He's moving slowly towards you.
Fantastic. And then there was also still the undead bees.
They're buzzing inside the tower.
Excellent. All right. This is fine. Is there anywhere to run that doesn't have an enemy near it?
There's the forest. You would have to run past the man with the halberd.
Oh, it's a halberd. Let's, you know what? I think I'm with Zenkar. I'm going to be like, an Eldritch Blast the bees again, and then just run towards them. For some reason, I think the bees are going to be better than this halberd man. And that's my that's my bonus action to dash as an expeditious retreat.
All right.
And then I'm going to Eldritch Blast, which I have to roll. Alright. 15? Hit the bees?
That will hit the bees.
For 5 points of Eldritch Blast damage.
All right. The bees, again, you knock a hole through them, and then they fill that hole back in. The swarm is much smaller now than when it first appeared from the muck, but it's still swarming.
Ew.
And at this point, it swarms towards that northern wall, and its form encompasses Zenkar, Gwendolyn, and Officer Anderson.
Oh, great.
Deal with the bees, he says!
Oh no.
Zenkar, Gwendolyn,
Yeah.
Officer Anderson. That'll be a critical hit on Zenkar and a 12 on each of you.
Miss.
Is it the hit?
Oh, miss.
Miss. Zenkar, you take 14 piercing damage
It's a lot of
and make
bees.
me a Constitution saving throw.
No.
Okay.
You feel for a moment a sharp nerve pain through your arms, through your spine as they're stinging you. But you're able to, besides being stung viciously by this swarm, hold off whatever other effects might have occurred. Donald, it's your turn. You're standing at the edge of this swamp. Within a movement, you could reach the robed figure. Gracie has just moved back into the woods.
All right. Gracie, our friends need help. Where are you? Whatever. I will take my dagger and I will throw it at the robed figure and try and disarm him. The disarming attack.
All right.
So I'm going to throw it, and
That's a hit.
let's see, disarming attack. Strength saving throw again. And I
20.
add a D8. Okay, you said it was a 20?
Mhm.
Okay, then he doesn't drop it, but he does take 2 more damage added to, so 9 damage
All
from the
right.
dagger.
So you strike the undead creature in its right arm just above the wrist. It holds firm onto the halberd. It reaches down, grabs the dagger, mechanically drops the dagger, Are you doing anything else with your turn?
Seeing that I probably just pissed off this really bad looking thing, I'm going to bonus action second wind.
All right.
Try and gain back a bit of health. Let's see. So I get 10 back.
All right. And are you staying where you are, or are you moving towards the trees or towards the tower?
I'm standing right where I am because I don't know what's going on inside and I don't know what Gracie's doing. So I'm going to stay right where I am to try and keep an eye on both.
For a moment, the robed figure turns its head towards you, and you can see that it's wearing some sort of mask. Not a beak-nosed mask like the crows would wear, but like a half mask, almost like a masquerade mask. It looks at you, and then it turns away, and it continues on towards the tower, directly towards Officer Anderson. It stops 10 feet away from you, Anderson, and uses the reach of its halberd to swing at you twice. It's going to be a 16 and a 12.
The 12 misses, the 16 just hits.
So its first swing widened across its body. Its second swing comes down overhead, thunks into the mud right next to you. That first swing catches you in your torso for 12 slashing damage.
Okay.
Zenkar, it's your turn.
Okay.
You're warmed by bees.
After reassessing the situation, I am going to take the dodge action and run back outside.
All right. They will do an opportunity attack.
Mhm.
With your dodge action, does a...
Disadvantage. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I thought I did 2.
Oh, okay.
There we go. A 20.
That's going to hit me.
Make me a Constitution saving throw.
All right.
Again, you feel that pain as you're being stung, the nerve pain of an after effect, but you're able to fight through it. You will take 7 piercing damage.
Okay.
How's Zenkar looking right now?
Probably like full of bloats all over virtually every bit of exposed skin he has, I would assume, at this point. He's going to then spiritual weapon those damn bees.
They
I'm done.
move in a circle around his attack, opening up a hole. The attack goes straight through the hole, and then they fill the hole in again.
It's just a ball of flame. I think that would be his spiritual weapon. Yeah. Okay.
I think so too. Gracie, it's your turn.
Do you think... I think that Gracie would maybe stop, but listen out for in the woods, maybe take a few steps into the woods.
Roll me a perception check.
All right.
It sounds like just woods out there. The whispering happened when you used your book to cast a spell, when you drawed strength from it, but you don't hear it now. You hear the sounds of critters, birds maybe, nothing else. Behind you, you can hear the chaotic screams of gunfire.
That's really painful!
All right, I'll turn around and take a few steps back towards them. And I see the swarm of bees, correct?
You can't see the swarm of bees. It's inside the tower, but you do see the robed revenant standing at that opening where Gwendolyn and Anderson are, and they seem to be entering into some sort of melee.
Okay. Does the revenant count as undead?
It does.
Okay, so I have one more turn undead, so I'll try that.
All right. It's
but
a DC
again,
14.
I'll have to. I'm sorry, what?
It's a DC 14.
It's a 14, yeah. Again, but I'll have to put my hand on my book to do it.
And when you touch your book, again, the book opens up of its own accord. The pages flip, 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 and you find yourself pressing your thumb to that same page that you touched it before.
And I'll say a prayer to Ilmater to help the suffering, because I'm afraid that my friends will be the suffering soon.
It's not Ilmater that answers you. It's that same voice. Angrier now. Insistent. I told you, Gracie. You're going the wrong way. You can't save your friends. The plague will take them. You can only stop the plague. And your spell this time just doesn't happen. No strength comes from the book.
Oh man. I think she's gonna turn around again.
And again, you disappear into the tree line. Deadeye, you're close to the tree line. You can witness this. Do you say anything to her before she goes?
I'm just cursing under my breath at this point. It's just too many times. They're dying. She's running. I'm helping the other ones.
All right. Anderson, it's your turn.
All right. After this creature swung its halberd and cut my chest, and then another swing and it goes down into the... Anderson's angry, and this thing needs to be stopped. So he is going to rush it and step inside the halberd swing to get in its face. And he is going to try and smack it just across the face he can with his club. And then he's also going to expend a key point and do flurry of blows on it.
All right, do your first attack.
Oh, God.
As you swing and miss, it steps backward with a deft movement, the movement of a trained soldier. You'd recognize this. And it swings out of range of your baton and uses its reaction to counterattack you. With its counterattack, it has advantage because you missed. It strikes you again, this time across your thigh with its halberd, 12 slashing damage. It's still your turn.
Can I still impose then that key point for the... Try and hit it 2 more times?
Absolutely.
Okay. 2 unarmed strikes, I should clarify. All right, then hit. And if I make one, I'm going to use Wave the Open Hand and try and make the target have a dex save and try and knock him prone. I'm trying to hit him so hard upside the head in my aim to just bring it down.
Your first blow does bring it down, and it gives you advantage because it's prone. On the second blow, you already scored a critical on the second attack, so you can't do better than that. You strike it twice. You hit it twice.
Okay.
Roll that damage.
Let's see.
So 14 total damage. It's already starting to stand back up. It doesn't look particularly phased or slowed yet.
Okay, he's gonna start Get out of here.
You get one more bit of damage too.
Do I?
Yeah.
For
Or you just roll more d4 because you got a crit.
just one straight D4.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you click the word,
That's right.
if you click the word, it rolls it for you.
Okay. Cool.
Don't have to tell me twice.
Well, as he's fighting it and in his pain, he's going to be screaming out to the group, "Get out of here! Get out!"
Gwendolyn, it's your turn. And with all of that, you are able, if you're trying to, you are able to reach Donald on the far side of so you just pull out of the swamp with your expeditious retreat, your legs almost, your feet almost running on top of the water.
Wait for me.
Meanwhile, the swarm continues to leave the tower, and it wraps itself around Anderson and Zenkar.
Okay, just quick bonus. I bonus actioned expeditious retreated. I used my movement to move my full movement away, and I disengaged as my action. So I was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. That's what happened.
And she did.
I did.
She did. She got to the other side. She gets out of the swamp, and meanwhile, the bees swarm Anderson and Zenkar. Anderson, Zenkar, they both hit. Make me Constitution saving throws.
Am I still dodging?
Yes. Oh, yeah, you're right. So it has disadvantage on you. Thank you for mentioning that. Sorry. They're mad.
Yeah, there's some bad bees.
Zenkar and Anderson, you will both take 7 piercing damage. And Anderson, you're both racked with this nerve pain. Anderson, you also take 7 poison damage.
He was at 7 hit points, so the first hit dropped.
And it's all part of the same hit, so you don't fail 2 death saving throws.
Okay.
You're just knocked out.
Anderson's
Zenkar,
down.
how are
What?
you doing?
Kazooth! I thought I was the chosen one!
They both go down before the bees. All right, Donald.
Those damn bees, man.
I'm
Don-
so sorry.
Donald, it's your turn.
All right. What exactly?
Don't go
did I
back for
just
them,
see
let's
happen?
go!
I see a blur, and then Gwendolyn is standing beside me, which is I pull a dagger and almost stab her because and then I see the thing. Do I see Zenkar and Anderson fall?
They are at the edge of the northern wall on top of a pile of rubble. Anderson's been mixing it up with the robed figure wielding the halberd. You see a swarm. You can't tell what it is from here, but it's black, dots of black. In the distance, you can hear the bzz, 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 and they engulf Anderson and Zenkar, then dissipate, and you watch Anderson and Zenkar drop, writhing into the rubble.
Okay, so the black buzzing, you said it dissipates. So they fall and it disappears, or the buzzing is still there?
It's still there.
Okay.
The cloud of black has just risen above their bodies.
And creepy robed guy with a halberd is still standing there. I'll look over at Gwendolyn like, what the fuck is happening?
Zombies!
Gracie ran into the woods.
Undead bees! Zombies! I thought that made sense. It made sense in my mind.
Zombies!
Zombies!
Oh. Now is not the time for puns.
Say we're dying and she's making puns.
I'm going to throw my second dagger at the robed figure, and this time try and make it a trip attack.
All right.
Okay, so that hits.
And his strength saving throw fails.
Okay.
So roll
So-
damage.
So yeah, like as the action of him getting hit by Oh, wasn't he already on the ground though?
Oh, he was.
Did Anderson knock him down? Yes. Yeah, he
Oh,
was.
okay,
So you
okay,
actually would
yeah.
have disadvantage on your attack, but it actually still is a hit.
Okay.
So if you want to change it to another one of your attacks, so it's not.
No, I'll just make it it's still got the thing in its hands. I want to like knock the halberd away from it.
Okay.
Because I don't know if they're unconscious or if they've just fallen. So.
Okay. Yeah, and this time you hit it right in the hand as it's starting to stand back up, and it pierces through its palm. It drops the halberd into the muck, and it turns over its head. You see that mask turn towards you.
Wonderful. It gets an extra 4, so that's 10 damage total.
It's getting up slowly now. Much slower than it was moving before.
I don't think there's much we could do for them, Gwendolyn. Bees.
Yes.
And I will use my movement to move 30 feet back towards where Gracie went into the woods.
You disappear into the tree line, and you will see Gracie there just a little ways ahead of you, moving deeper into the woods.
Gracie, Anderson and Zenkar fallen. I don't know what we should do. That'll be my turn.
The knight reaches down, picks up the halberd, but it watches Deadeye Donald disappear into the woods, and even though it's stumbling a little, it begins to run as fast as it can, using its dash action. Gwendolyn, you've just made it through to the edge of the swamp. You're maybe breathing a little hard. This thing beelines its way through the swamp after you, swinging as it moves its halberd back and forth methodically, and it reaches the edge of the swamp too.
Oh, no.
But that is its turn.
Oh, good. Yes.
Zenkar, make me a death saving throw.
Maybe you are the chosen. Okay, maybe I spoke too soon.
Look, okay, Kasuth likes to play games with me.
Oh, okay. That's one fail.
Zenkar, you were maybe still slightly conscious, but that light fades. You see that cloud of black bees hanging just over your swollen, stung face. Gracie, it's your turn.
How far away are they? How many feet?
They are 70 feet away from you. 30 feet of that is difficult terrain.
Okay, I'll turn around and go as far as I can with my movement.
Okay.
Will that put me in range of a healing word?
Let's see. What's your range?
60 feet.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. So I'll cast a healing word on Zenkar.
All right. Go ahead and roll it.
Okay. It's not rolling. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Just kidding, not that.
What's your, can you click on the spell and just throw it up in chat?
Yeah, it won't work. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
And then it's plus my wisdom modifier.
So what's your wisdom modifier?
3.
All right.
I think it's because you have to.
I'm sorry, 4. 4.
Mm-hmm.
So Zenkar,
So you get
it's like being shot through the heart with a burst of adrenaline. You startle upward. Gracie, as you touch your book and say this prayer, you hear the voice again. I'm beginning to lose my patience with you.
Thank you, Kasuth.
Anything
How
else?
far away? Yeah, how far away are the revenants at this point?
The Revenant is on like 10 feet away from you. It's at the edge of the swamp, very close to Lady Gwendolyn.
Okay. Can I have it make me a dexterity save? 14.
Yeah, for what?
A sacred flame.
Absolutely. It fails.
Great. So it will take 1d8. Three.
And again, its flesh begins to burn away. Its robes begin to burn away under the light of your spell. You don't hear the voice anymore. You just hear the whispers, angry, furtive. This seems particularly effective against the Revenant. It's still moving, but it's hurt.
A healing word doesn't require a somatic or like a component, so I don't think I had to touch my book for that.
Okay. Well, you still hear the voice. It's still angry.
I believe you. I did all that, but I think I would still turn around towards the forest.
All right. So you begin to turn. You've used your movement action, but you're starting to turn back. Mm-hmm. Anderson, make me a death saving throw.
Okay.
I'm getting an ad now, so we might be all right.
Just Twitch being twitchy.
16.
You're hurt. You're unable to move, but you are still somewhat aware of what's happening around you.
Okay.
Gwendolyn.
Probably just lays there coughing and racking in pain, writhing.
Yes.
The poison that's coursing through your body from the bee stings is causing you to actually seize. You are writhing on the ground. Gwendolyn, yes. It's your turn.
Yes. He's 10 feet away from me and he has a halberd. Oh, I'm muted on Zoom. 1 moment. Yes, he's 10 feet away from me and he's a halberd, correct?
That's correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're going to disengage again. And then full movement, and then expeditious retreat dash again.
Moving into the forest.
Yes.
So just to recap briefly, because I think some folks lost us in Twitch for a few minutes.
Twitch being twitchy.
Gracie emerged again from the woods. She used a healing word to jerk Zenkar back to consciousness. She blasted the robed revenant with a sacred flame that seemed particularly effective, burning away part of its robes, part of his face, and then she began to turn back towards the woods. Officer Anderson is seizing, writhing on the ground in front of the tower, and Lady Gwendolyn has slipped away from the revenant and dashed into the woods. The swarm follows, and let's see how fast it moves. It crosses over the swamp and to the other side, unable to quite reach anyone. So it uses its dash action and like a line, it narrows and moves into the trees after Deadeye Donald. Past Gracie, you would see these bees fly past you, Gracie, and towards Gwendolyn. That brings us to Deadeye Donald. These bees are almost on top of you now.
All right. So I see the revenant going after Gwendolyn, who I gallantly left alone. And the bees have decided that I look tasty. All right. I don't think throwing daggers at bees are going to help anyone. I'm going to take my last dagger and I'm going to throw it at the revenant.
All right.
All right, I hit the wrong one. Oh, that was a melee. Well, I still rolled pretty well.
Yeah. That's a hit. Yeah.
So 5 damage. I don't have any more superiority dice. So I throw that last dagger just to piss the thing off and maybe have it chase me, and then I hightail it through the woods. running just back towards the clearing where the dead things were.
And you see it thunk into the Revenant's chest. It bounces off of a tree and continues to stagger after you.
Wonderful.
It's the turn of the Revenant, and it can't catch up with Donald this turn since he's a little ahead, but it does catch up with Gwendolyn.
Oh, good heavens. I'd hoped 60 feet was enough, but I guess
it is, yeah. It can't attack you this turn,
oh,
but it does.
But it's just keeping pace. Ah!
Keeping pace with you, and it's gotten a little bit closer. It's 5 feet from you now.
Oh no, this is bad.
Zenkar, you are awake. You can see the edge of the tree line. The Revenant has disappeared into the trees. Officer Anderson is writhing on the ground next to you.
And what of the bees?
The bees are about 40 feet away from you at the edge of the tree line outside of the swamp.
Okay, so they're chasing. Okay, so we're kind of alone over here. All right. I'm going to cover Anderson in oil and light him on fire.
Anderson makes it out of this. He's going to kill you.
No, that's my cure wounds.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
It still hurts, though. It doesn't feel bad.
There's a slight burning
That
sensation
hurts.
as you come alive.
Roll me the healing.
I did. He got 15 points, man.
It's the most painful 15 points of healing you have ever experienced.
A lingering burn.
How much hair did Anderson have before?
I mean, looking short crop hair, well, shaggy crop hair because he's in prison. It's probably mostly gone now.
Oh yeah, he's bald. He's bald now.
Okay, yeah, okay. Well,
Anderson, we need
You're
to
all right.
leave. He awakens from writhing on the ground, screaming in pain, and he leans forward and grabs you around the neck and says,
You're going to be fine.
"Thank you." But feels good at the same time. So he's going to get up and stand up with Zenkar and help him up. And it's my full turn now, right?
Yeah, no, not yet. First we have Zenkar, are you moving on your turn or are you staying where you are?
I'm gonna grab a hold of Anderson and move with him. So,
Okay.
like,
I'll say we'll say you can get halfway through the swamp together.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
And
Anderson's
Gracie,
stumbling a little bit.
Gracie, it's your turn again. You've started to move back into the woods. You've seen this robed Revenant rush past you, chasing after Gwendolyn and Donald. Donald's the furthest ahead. Gwendolyn's next. And also right in front of you is that swarm of bees. That swarm seems to stop at the tree line, and now it's just kind of hanging there.
I'll have the Revenant make me a dex save for a Sacred Flame.
For a Sacred Flame.
Mm-hmm.
This time it succeeds. It's moving too quick, so the fire bursts, but it's in a spot where he was just a moment before.
Okay, I'll stop. I won't go any further, but I also won't turn around.
You just kind of stand there.
Staring into the woods.
All right. Anderson, now it's your turn. If you want, you can spend your movement action to help Zenkar the other half the way through the swamp.
Absolutely. He's going to just drag him, looking ahead, seeing everybody in pursuit. He's like, come on, we have to help. And he's just kind of grabbing him, pulling him forward, moving.
You both reach to where Gracie is, just at the edge of between the swamp and the tree line, and the bees are there.
And do I have the ability to do any types of attacks, or is it everything's done?
What's your movement speed? Is it 35?
40 for monk.
I'm like
Unless I
trying.
did wrong on roll 20.
No. Then yeah, you'll have to leave Zenkar behind at the edge of the swamp, but you can push on. And
He will. He'll there, but then he's gonna drop him and move.
You left me next to the bees!
Well, no, I'm moving towards the bees. I'm trying to keep you in the safe distance. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. That's all. We're still too close. Why'd we move closer to the bees? No. Okay. I'm done.
Moving closer to the friends. All right, Officer Anderson. Then we'll move up on the swarm of bees. It's not swarm of bees being a man with a club. He's just gonna swing, and he's also gonna do another key point and try and do a flurry of blows and just wing everywhere. So,
all right, go for it.
First one. Oh yeah. And
Natural 20.
yep, got a natural 20 for the first hit.
All
Two
right.
more.
And then
You're so done
There
with
we
these
go.
bees.
Damn
All
bees,
right.
dude.
They all 3 hit. Roll your damage.
Just click on the
oh man, stand by one. There's 1, 2, 3, and here's the crit.
Zenkar and Gracie, you watch as Anderson, man with a mission, swats 3 times with his baton and his fists at these bees. They each time begin to form back again, a little smaller, a little smaller. Finally, at last, he's knocked enough of them away. The bees just sort of dissipate in all different directions. And you see them disappear into the canopy above, into the swamp. No longer aggressive, no longer seeming to attack you.
Officer Anderson just standing there panting, covered in bee stings, bleeding from the gash wound on his chest.
Nice job, Anderson. Where is that reverend?
Yeah, Anderson's just going to look for where the Reverend's at with Zenkar, and then that's his turn.
You can see movement through the trees. It's hard without getting further in to actually see the Revenant at this point. Gwendolyn, you see the Revenant because
Oh, I bet I do.
right behind you.
Yes. Is it my turn?
It is your turn.
So he's 5 feet away. There's 5 feet of distance between me and him.
That's correct.
Okay, good. He looks pretty injured, right?
He does.
Good. He's going to catch up with me next time. So I'm going, because it won't be a disadvantage because he's not right up on me. I'm going to Eldritch Blast him,
All right.
which hopefully hits. 22?
All right. That is a hit. Wait, you're 5 feet away, so you should have disadvantage on that.
Well, then I'll move away first and then attack.
Do your disengage. Yeah. So 6 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
He's still standing. Again, he drops to a knee for a second and then rises slowly.
But I keep running.
So you make it 30 feet away.
Yep. That's fine.
He picks up his feet and it looks like he's about to continue to pursue you. Donald, it's your turn.
All right, if I'm looking back, the bees are gone now, right? Correct?
And
The
just
buzzing?
smacked them all.
That's correct.
Excellent. Do I see, if I would look back quickly towards the Revenant, would I notice, a limb or something that I could maybe jump and swing from on the way back?
Absolutely.
All right. So thinking back to my performing days, and knowing I have no more daggers, I am going to turn. I'm going to plant my foot, turn, and run back directly toward the Revenant, and then I'm going to jump at the last moment, grab a limb, and then try and somersault into the air and come down on its shoulders with my short sword, trying to take it to the ground. Hoping
Absolutely.
that my training hasn't gone for naught in the dungeons.
So make me an acrobatics check, and if you succeed on my DC, I'll give you advantage on your attack.
Excellent. Let's. I'm supposedly very good at this, and I fail.
It starts off well. Everything seems very smooth, but as you come down not on top of him, but to his left, and you thunk onto the ground. I'll still let you attack, but it'll be at disadvantage now.
That's fine. I'm trying to be spectacular, and of course, yes, I'll just swing my short sword at him.
This
then
isn't the time for thrilling heroics.
disadvantage, and yes, that's even better. I just throw the short sword off into the distance somewhere.
It's been a very stressful few minutes for you. Not most people would struggle to perform in this particular circumstance. You might have your chance to redeem yourself next turn. This was a rough one.
That didn't go quite the way I planned. But I'm looking at Gwendolyn just shrugging my shoulders like.
So you
did manage to
heroic.
have an impact, though. You managed to have an impact on the night because now you kneeling before it turns on you and takes 2 swings at you.
Distraction. Thanks, Donald.
You're welcome.
So that's going to be a 17 and a 24.
Oh, both of those would hit, yes. I have a 14 armor class since I'm just wearing clothing.
And this time, instead of swinging, it just very efficiently turns its halberd upward and stabs down at you twice. You will take a total of 24 piercing damage.
Excellent. I'm still sitting there.
Oh.
Much the worse for wear.
How did you take all the damage? Okay.
He's a high con fighter.
Thinking that maybe you're wounded or dead, it turns and runs towards Gwendolyn, again, swiping back and forth with its halberd. You can take an attack of opportunity if you want, Donald.
Sure. Well, I mean, I now have no daggers. I've thrown them all, and my short sword ejected out of my hand. So I'll grab the long sword that I'm not good at. I don't have any strength. I'm not very good with, and I will swing it. And, I'll take that.
Yeah.
That hits. How much damage?
Not a lot.
3.
You are still kind of getting up. You're swinging wildly with this weapon that you're untrained with. And you trip forward, still stumbling. And as you trip forward, it gives you just a little extra reach. And that sword catches it between shoulder and head at the bottom part of its neck. And whoosh, the head comes clean off. The Revenant continues swinging, stumbling towards Gwendolyn with its halberd.
Please stop.
And then drops to the earth and moves no more.
Yes. Yes.
I was just trying to distract it with that acrobatics. I'm going to lie here for a little bit and bleed.
I can help.
I think we all need to lie here a little bit and bleed.
What the fuck were those flying things?
Zombies! I told you!
But zombies? What the hell are those things?
They're undead bees!
Where's Gracie? Gracie, are you still with us?
I don't know. I know Officer Anderson and Zenkar are dead! Are you alive? Or are you undead?
Are we near them right now? Or are they...
They're like 40 feet away from you into the trees. They've been running for a little while. But at this point, nothing else is attacking you, and you have the opportunity to regroup and do what you wish. I'll let you guys sort of decide.
Are my daggers still stuck in the Revenant?
You can retrieve 2 of the daggers that are stuck
excellent.
in the Revenant. You can find your short sword. It didn't go far.
Excellent.
Well, my plan was to run after him, so probably will be approaching soon.
Good.
All right, Officer Anderson then is going to start corralling the group, looking to everybody like, you guys, you alive? You okay? He's getting the whole group together and just checking on everybody. You all right? How you doing?
I can barely stand, but thank you for asking.
Yeah.
How
Is
are you
anyone
doing?
actively dead or unconscious?
Not unconscious anymore.
We're all hurt.
3 of us are actively dying.
But you're standing, so.
Kind of.
Limping.
I think
Yeah.
it would be best if we find a place to rest.
Yes, not in a castle
Hey.
with a weird statue and zombies and
What was that
things.
last thing we were fighting? It
I don't even know where that thing came from. We were
It
running
fought
from
like
the
Anderson.
zombies, and then there was this like horrible undead peasant, and then this
I
thing
don't-
was behind it, and it just was.
I don't know.
Just don't know.
I don't care. We need to get somewhere, though. Look, I know it's creepy as hell. I got a gaping chest wound here. Yours been stabbed a few times. Look, it's the driest place in this entire area
All right.
to hunker down for the night.
There could be more bees in there.
Well, they didn't seem eager to leave the swamp.
Well, look, we
We're-
either stay out in the open and try and find some
No.
place to hunker down, or we take that place. As much as I don't like that, I think we still need to head back there and hunker down for the night.
Can Gracie make some kind of check to see if she follows them?
You don't hear the whispering. You don't feel compelled. You have control over your actions, and you as you explore whether or not you can actually control what you're doing and what comes next. You realize that in this moment you do have control.
What time of day is it?
It is mid-afternoon,
How
so
about-
you have time to look for another place to stay if
Yes,
you want, but you don't have to.
Let's not stay there. It's only mid-afternoon. Why don't we just take a brief respite? You know, staunch some of the bleeding on a few people, and then we can continue on and look for a different place.
where did Zinkar come up with the
We
the
haven't
armor?
had a long rest, have
Oh.
we?
There was. I made a pile of armored weapons in the place. If we want to go.
All right,
peek
well, look,
back in
how about we go? We get the weapons, armor, anything we can salvage. We'll take a brief
Okay.
rest,
and then
and
we
we'll get the hell out of here.
Okay.
I
I
agree with
like that idea. But
Let's
before,
be-
I'm going to look at the Revenant and just sort of pick through it and see, because it was wearing a weird helmet and
Yeah,
it was
nice.
wearing robes, and it looked much different than all the undead things that have been chasing us so far. Like it looked relatively alive for the most part, moved like it was alive.
You'll have to peel back the mask, the half mask, and it's a plain white, unadorned mask. Underneath is the rotting flesh of a man, much like some of the other creatures you've seen. That this one was robed, and you do feel like this one was certainly stronger and maybe more intelligent in the way that it moved and acted. But now it's just meat.
I'll grab the mask. I'll kind of keep it. See if it, just for whatever reason. And there's nothing else different about, like, the robes don't have anything in them. There's no identification.
The robes themselves are tattered and rotten. Roll me an investigation check.
Sure. Be more than happy to. Oh, not bad.
Let's see. You don't find any forms of identification, but you do believe the frame of this man was large, very similar to the sort of frame that would have made a good warrior. And the robes seem to be dichotomous with that. They're the robes of some sort of maybe priest. You get the inclination, the feeling that these robes might have been put on this man posthumously.
All right. I'll catch up with everyone if they're walking away now.
Anderson's gonna take the lead, head back immediately towards the ruin, careful not to step in the gory mess of the acidic thing that exploded, and slide down the rubble pile back into the castle.
Before we head back to the pile, I would like to attend to some of the wounds of the party.
Oh,
Absolutely. At this point, you guys can attend to the wounds, grab weapons and armor, any
Short
basic
rest.
equipment, short rest. You will be unaccosted during this time.
Going to roll a hit dice, maybe 2.
I know that Gracie has been kind of like heading off into the forest. Is she part of this, or do you think, or no?
And I think that's something that Gracie can choose in this moment. She's not hearing the whispers anymore. It's a conflicting series of things. She's been promised one thing, but certainly there's something unsettling about this man in the wheelchair, this man who speaks to her through her book. So that's the choice she has to make now, is whether she goes off on her own or whether she has to stay with these people.
I think I'll stay with the people, but constantly have like my eye on the forest, deciding whether or not she's gonna take that voice seriously over the voice of her party. I think she's constantly kept the party in the back of her mind and try to keep their best interest to keep them alive, but also been like, well, if I have the time, maybe I'll follow this voice. But I do think that she would take this moment with them to rest.
All right.
You know, I don't think she'll take any armor or anything like that, because I don't think that she's, I don't know. I mean, she's smart enough to, but I don't think that that's the first thing on her mind.
Yeah.
It is technically old elven armor. If she's interested.
She's a half elf.
So
and like, Lydia wants to take it, but like I don't think Gracie would think about it.
So you're all able to heal. If anyone's
is there like a shield or like an easy piece of armor? Like I don't think she would go through the process of like donning a whole.
You could definitely grab a
armor.
shield, you know, for the extra 2 AC if she wants to wield it. There's
Sure.
plenty of old beaten shields here in the dirt.
She'll totally take a shield, but like really nothing else. I just don't think she's thinking about it. You know, I don't think she's thinking about herself right now.
And for anyone else, is anyone casting any healing magic? I saw the hit dice go out.
If anyone needs
I
more
don't need it.
healing.
Yeah, no,
No,
hit
good.
dice. I'm fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I do it for flavor anyways. I light everyone on fire.
It's very uncomfortable.
So
I took like 4 damage, so I'll roll 1 hit die.
For some reason, I'm kind of into this.
Donald will dig through the armor while he's burning.
Yeah.
I think Officer Anderson would jump on Zinkar and start strangling him. Don't you ever do that again, except for when I'm dying.
I'm trying to help you.
And you did. Thank you, Zedgar.
This is considered a short rest, correct?
Yeah, you guys are taking a short rest right now. You'll have some time to decide where you're going to spend your night, what your next movements are. And Donald, you were looking for armor, any kind in particular?
He can use medium or heavy. Probably would like medium, but we'll take whatever he can find.
You can find chain. You can find leather armor.
Okay. He'll probably pick up the chain. That won't be too it won't hinder him too much, but it'll give him a little bit more armor.
Okay. So you have a short rest, and at this point, the sun is beginning to set, and because you're at the edge of the swamp, you can see it starting to dip in the sky, and the hue of the sky go from the strange blue that it was, cloudless, to pink. You have some time to decide, where are you going to spend your night? Are you going to go looking?
Officer Anderson would just probably start chatting with the group about that, just kind of laying down. Because, we're out in the swamp that not many people go to and return.
Yes.
We're on the one piece of dry land we've seen in a while. The forest edge is that way. We could try and hug the edge of the woods and some great trees or some fallen logs, or we could stay here. Yeah, the statue's creepy. Keep an eye on it.
I would like to point out something, if that'd be fine. When we separated momentarily, Gracie was communing with our friend Diggory,
What?
who was looking quite worse for wear.
Wait, what do you?
Yeah,
Ow.
She was standing there mumbling something about learning blood plague things or whatnot, and
No.
and
No. Diggory was
Diggory-
left in the sewer.
Diggory
There
was,
was a knife in his
standing
head.
direct. Look, I had to kill that man again. He was standing there, and then I called to her, and she woke up, and then it swung out at her like it was angry now. It hit her slightly, and then I threw one of my daggers and then stabbed him in the chest or whatever, and then we were attacked by two more things. There's undead all through these forests. We need shelter that we can defend. And
Stay.
to ask Gracie what her thing is with these undead people.
So we're staying here in the creepy ruins with the creepy statue, and I guess we burned everything already. Maybe we should just burn it a little more, it'll be fine.
Oh, by the way,
Yes.
the undead things were hiding in the trees, and they dropped down on us.
What? What?
In the trees.
Yes,
Like-
so
Undead tree monkeys.
like an undead spider thing, and an
Ooh.
undead bloated-looking. He was a very looked like he was once a merchant. Very fine clothing.
Burning all the trees
Look.
may
That could work. We just burned
draw
the forest.
attention.
Oh.
Yeah, don't forget that we were just being chased by the guard and the hounds. I'm sure they've sent more by now to come look for
I
us.
don't think they'll make it all the way out here.
It'll be difficult for them to track us.
Through the swamp.
Yeah.
Gracie, would you like to tell us what conversation you were having with Diggory over there? I mean,
Gracie, we need. He mentioned something about a knight being in front of you, the one that we stabbed in the face in the tunnel as he was dying on the other side of a steel grate.
I think he was playing a trick on me because when I saw him, he did not look like that. He just looked like an old man, an old elf, needing my help, calling to me, but he didn't look like our friend until I got there. And when I got there, I was going to tell him to go away, but Donald helped me.
Is his body still there?
I
You
pinned
know-
it to the ground with a short sword.
That's right, he did. And I went to look around the corner for my elf friend, and like he said, there was the child running down the tree and the older one. But they're gone now too. And I came back to you.
Oh, by the
Okay.
way, she has real magic. Like I know stage magic and things of that nature, but she cast balls of light magic that disintegrated the merchant-looking one.
But
It's nothing, really. It's nothing.
Bullshit! It was a ball of flame and disintegration, and it was right in front of my face, and it was disturbing.
It doesn't sound like nothing to me.
I'm with
Nothing like
Zencon.
lighting things on fire to you.
Fire, I understand.
Gracie, who,
That does make sense. I don't know anything
Crazy.
else about. I don't know anything about magic. I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't.
who are you, Gracie? Why were you
Well,
in that prison?
My name is Gracie, and I was just trying to help people.
Yeah, but now he's telling me you're shooting fire and real magic out of your hand. There's undead creatures that are.
Well, there
wasn't
wasn't any fire. You have to understand, it wasn't fire.
No.
What? That's
It was just. I know that you feel that way, but
Well, look,
it's just when I ask the God that I pray to help me in situations where I might be in danger or people I know might be in danger, they just they come to me in my hands. You know, sometimes I need a little help from something that I hold, but not all the time.
you sound. It's very blessed, I guess.
You could say that. I have a very close relationship with the God that I pray to, and
Hopefully, that God's a very benevolent God, because we're gonna need all the help we can get out here.
Yes.
Is it your god telling you to leave us when we're fighting?
What?
I don't know what you're saying.
It's twice now you've ran from us. When we're going one direction, we run the other. We were coming out and saw our friends fighting, and the Revenant came. You ran the other direction.
Is this true, Gracie?
I mean, you came back again, but you
I
left.
came back. Maybe I was scared.
I understand that. I
It
ran.
does happen.
You didn't look scared.
Great,
You looked
Gracie.
I didn't look scared, but there were dead things and swarms of bees, and I'm just a young girl.
Scared or no scared, we understand. Okay, I'd probably run too.
Right?
But are you able to stick with us here till we get out of here? The last thing any of us needs to do is separate in this place. This is one of the worst places there's ever been stories of.
I don't mean to run away. It's just I get scared sometimes.
I
And I
can't
just
say
don't know
we're all
who to
going to
trust.
protect you or anything like that here, but there's strength in numbers. Stick with us here, all right?
But there's strength
Yeah.
in myself too. And I'm just learning how to find it.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
Perhaps you should wait until we're in a better situation.
When are we in a better situation?
Not here.
Out of the swamp, perhaps?
It's beginning
Look.
to get darker now.
I guess we're
It's
holding
not
up here.
sunset yet, but you can
Look.
see the sun now dipping over the edge of the horizon.
Look, guys, you can do, and he's addressing everybody, you can do whatever you want after. My job now is to help see you all through this damn place, because I won't make it by myself. I already know that. I need you guys to help keep me going, just as I need to help for all our sakes to get out of here. Once we get out of this place, you can go where you want. I have some personal business I need to attend to, and a few people that need to have some personal visits.
Like what, though? What do we have to look forward to? We've been gone for so long. At least
Look,
I have.
You can find that in yourself. You can go be a hermit. You can go make friends in a new city. You can stay here and rot. Here.
Where are you going to go?
I'm going to go back.
Go back where?
Back to the city. I got some people that needs a visit.
And
A
who
very
are you?
painful, permanent visit.
I'm going to adapt a new identity and marry some rich, handsome someone. At least someone. He doesn't have to be handsome, I guess. Just rich. Someone I can provide for me for a new lifestyle. It's fine. Or I'll just dig up my old family heirlooms and just live alone or something. New identity, either way.
Lady Gwendolyn,
Yes.
do you pray for your dead family?
I've never really been the religious type. But, I think about them occasionally. It's really difficult because, the last time I saw them, they were like a bunch of pieces in the foyer. But, and then the guards came in and arrested me for no reason. They didn't even ask me questions. They just assumed I had murdered everyone, which is ridiculous.
Even your children, you just think of them as pieces.
Well, sometimes it's easier that way. I mean, they had so much future in front of them. It's just... I mean, I didn't really have much sentimental value for my husband, but the children were... They were nice.
I don't mean to make you cry.
It's alright, I'll survive.
Oh, look.
I just want to
Then-
start over and, make a new family that isn't...
Where will you go, though,
Jesus.
to do that? Do you think you'll have more children? Do you think you'll...
Hopefully.
find
I'm
a
not
husband?
that old. How old do you think I am?
Quite young.
Okay, well, yes, that's correct. But yes, no, I can just, I can do wonders with a little bit of makeup. Like, see, hold on, I'll turn around and I'll do Mask of Many Faces and just make myself look like a different person and come like, see? A whole new person. I'm now
Oh,
Pamela.
that's pretty impressive.
Yes, I'm very, very good at it. I can just do this for the rest of my life. And then I'll turn around and drop it and come back.
I have a question. This city you plan on going to, what building materials do they use?
It's mostly stone, as good, strong cities are built. Why do you ask? Is it about the fire?
No reason. I'm just curious.
He's into architecture. Is there anything wrong with that?
I think he's into burning architecture, but all right.
It's a very noble
Lady
cause.
Gwendolyn.
Yes.
You said your family, they died of the plague, right?
No, my sister died of the plague. Horrific. My family was butchered mysteriously in the night. I was asleep. I don't know what happened.
But your sister, let's talk about her. Where do you think she caught the plague?
Well, I don't probably. See, she was much more lenient with the household staff and let them mingle amongst the masses more often. The plague was fairly rampant next town over, where she and her husband ruled. And it's just.
Did you talk to her before she died?
I did. I actually went to visit her. I tried to help her the best I could, and she just belched into blood basically before my eyes. It was horrible.
How long did it take?
I've been terrified of the blood plague ever since.
Everyone rolled
immune,
a
though.
Constitution saving throw.
Oh no.
Why are you talking about it?
Why do we suck?
Dang it.
I think I'm immune though because I didn't get it and I had a dream I talked to someone and I made a deal and I was immune. So,
I'm sorry, Lady Gwendolyn.
it's fine.
As Gracie and Gwendolyn are having this conversation, Gwendolyn, you'll notice that tears of blood are beginning to stream out of the corner of Gracie's eyes as she's talking.
Out of Gracie's eyes?
Out of Gracie's eyes.
Oh dear.
And
Oh,
the sun.
oh dear. Can you stand further away from me, please? Just like in the rest of the group. Can you just
Why?
You're bleeding from your eyeballs, dear.
No.
Yes. I'm not colorblind.
Maybe you are though.
Gracie,
But I'm really
what's
not.
going on?
My interior
okay?
design was fantastic.
After coughing up blood a day before, I think Gracie would be like, "Oh no, it's nothing," but I would start to back up.
So, would signs of this, is everybody pretty intimate with the blood plague signs?
Probably not Zenkar, but I think everyone else has at least had a brush. You've seen it up close in person at some point.
Yes.
Worry not. I've seen stress cause this.
I don't know what kind of stress you've
Gracie, have
seen.
you been coughing? Maybe feeling a little stuffy?
Have you?
No.
No, I'm immune.
Are you feeling okay?
I've coughed, but have we all been in a dusty prison?
It's very true.
We have.
All right.
Maybe I'll sleep away from the crowd tonight if it would make you more comfortable.
Yes.
I'll just sleep outside.
Maybe just like on the other side of the
Look,
room. Just
stay-
spaced out.
Building, but yeah, maybe you should stay on the other side of the room just for now.
I'd be glad to. I would. I would like the time alone.
Look,
I don't think that's wise. I mean,
Oh,
none of us should be that far away from each other.
You can see. You can
If she
see that.
has something, we all have it.
No.
That's not true.
I don't know. Look, I'd feel personally more comfortable if you have what you might
Donald, if you feel uncomfortable, maybe you should sleep outside too. I know that you might feel uncomfortable.
I'm perfectly comfortable inside these walls, really, right now, to be honest with you.
Well, that is fine, and you should be, because you look perfectly well. But
Right. I am perfectly well, thank you very much. No one has been coughing blood on me recently, so I should be perfectly
either,
fine.
but I just feel more comfortable if I should stay outside these walls. I do love my friends, and I'm so happy that we have made it out of the prison together, but...
Hey, Gracie, look, if you want to stay outside, go ahead. But if you got what I think you got, we're going to need to get you some help. And there's still a cathedral hidden out here in these swamps that may have some help for you.
I have the prayers of a god inside my heart, and I think that they can help me, and I think that if I could just have some good rest outside of the walls,
Right.
I think that I'll be okay.
How do we know that this wasn't once the
Nice.
cathedral that everyone has
Dear.
been talking about?
It's very
I mean,
nice. I'm just going to
it looked to be once a large building that's in, it's in disrepair, and these rumors could have been going on for some time.
It could very well be, but do you see anybody here that can help us? I don't.
You would all know that Arkenberg Cathedral is more than a cathedral. It's a small city with a large population of refugees that have been swarming to it. It's positioned politically against Ostwald. So people who are fleeing the reign of terror of Sir Wenton often go to Arkenberg Cathedral. It's on the other side of the swamp.
I don't think
it's miles away though. Still.
Yeah.
I don't think this is the cathedral we're all maybe, just maybe.
Maybe we can get there tomorrow.
Yeah.
Is it still like a day's travel away?
It's a day's travel away from you through the swamp.
How about we all just get some rest here for the night?
We should take watches.
We'll head to the cathedral, take watches, and we can rest there, and you guys can go your own way from there. How about that?
I will accompany you to the cathedral, and then I will seek refuge of my fellow people of my church.
All right, sounds like a plan. All right, I'll take first watch. Hey, Donald, you feel like taking second?
Sure.
I'll take a watch.
You want to take third then?
Sure.
All right.
Thankar's already sleeping.
It takes you a little while. Takes you a little while to get a fire going in this ruin, but you're able to do so with some work. So
if only Zenka had stayed awake long enough to start off
really. I guess I fell asleep.
I don't even think I'm part of their watch order because I'm gonna
outside.
I'm gonna go way far away from them.
You crazy?
So,
I don't want you to be worried about me.
As you guys are starting to make camp and Zenkar's already fast asleep, let's move to Gracie outside, just outside of this tower. Where's she trying to take refuge for the night?
In just a terribly set up camp. The best you can do for like a naive.
You can set up
girl
camp, with some branches and twigs.
Yes.
However, it's
like
on the other side of the swamp.
If a child tried to set up camp and they've never been camping.
It looks like a child's fort that she's made and kind of huddled underneath with broken, snapped branches. 30 feet away from the tower, out of the wet of the swamp, right against that tree line. Meanwhile, is there anything you guys want to do, you who are inside the tower, before you start doing watch?
Man, we're gonna need to get something to eat.
I'm going to huddle down in my little corner. I'm going to summon my packed weapon, and I'm going to hold it while I sleep in case something tries to murder me in the night.
That's fair.
It's a very ornate-looking, cruel-looking, like short sword. It's very.
Is there anything Donald or Anderson are doing before we start the round of watches?
Anderson will just make sure the bandages on his chest nice and tight and make a comfortable little backrest in the landslide up on top, and he's going to sit on top of the pile looking half in, half out for his watch perch, I guess you could say.
All right. And Donald?
Donald just digs through. He's looking for more daggers. He can never have too many. He seems to be throwing those things away. So he's looking for those and just kind of watching everyone. He's kind of given up on Gracie for now, but he's keeping an eye on Gwendolyn. She's been looking at him funny.
Gwendolyn's fallen asleep at this point.
Yeah,
you find
still staring at
17 daggers.
17 daggers. Okay, I think I can put most of those in the chain. So
You're set up, bro.
yeah, he just daggers. No, he probably picks up like 6.
All right.
Yeah, 17 might be a bit too many.
Is he sleeping so that he can take next watch?
Yeah, he'll bed down and take a quick nap.
The sun sets. It's quiet. The sounds of the nighttime creatures have come. The birds are gone. Officer Anderson, you're staring at this fire in this camp. Is there anything you want to do in particular other than keep watch?
He's just going to sit there with his club, and he's going to be kind of mashing it into the loose gravel, just kind of a little dust between his legs, deep in thought, looking around. And he's thinking back to everything that's happened, to the anger and the pain of the betrayal, kids, that pension, being out in the swamp, almost dying. He's just very frustrated and angry, and he's just sitting there with a grimace on his face and just kind of brooding. That's about it.
Anderson, as you're brooding and remembering the series of events that have brought you here, what goals you still have, whether or not those goals have changed now that your understanding of what's possible in this world has changed. Roll me a charisma saving throw.
Seven.
You find your eyes drawn to the fire, brooding. That certain darkness takes your thoughts, and slowly, very slowly, your eyelids begin to drift close. Lady Gwendolyn.
Yes.
You are fast asleep. And do you have, let me ask you this, do you have any sort of, there's a way that people are capable of understanding how to lucid dream. Is Lady Gwendolyn in control of her own dreams at all?
To a certain extent. To a certain extent. Generally, lately she's been kind of more in control than, like, she had a lot of time. She didn't have much else to do for a year in prison, so she kind of messed with that a lot. She's sleeping, she's holding on to her packed weapon, and she's gonna kind of try to reach out, because her patron first contacted her to dream, so she's going to try to contact him back via a dream. She's pretty freaked out by all that's happened. She's wanting reassurance, she's wanting guidance, she's not sure what to do, and everything's just getting a little crazy. Crazier than it already is upstairs.
You open your eyes and you find yourself in a large room. Tall, 40 feet high ceilings. It looks like some sort of laboratory. Tables with bodies strapped to them, beakers bubbling with different fluids. A strange machine, a large machine in the center of this room with a spiraling ramp that runs up to the top where massive electrodes stand, electricity sparking and zapping between the electrodes.
Mm-hmm.
At the base of the machine, you see an old elf with strange tattoos covering his body and tattered clothes and a rickety wheelchair. He's holding his own heart in his hands, a gaping wound open in his chest, his blood black, his heart a small shriveled thing. And he's smoking a pipe. Gwendolyn, you called.
Hello there. Yes, there's just been, who are you? Are you, what's his name? You know, you just look a little different than the last time I saw you.
Oh, I can look like many things.
Oh, right.
Is there a more pleasing form you'd like me to take?
Oh, no, if it's convenient for you. I don't want to be an inconvenience. I've been hearing a lot about just strange things happen. There's been so many odd things going on lately, and I just don't really know. There's these people, and we escaped from prison, and now there's, like, these undead, and there's zombies, and there's this young girl, and she has, I know she has the blood plague, and I just, you know, that's really bad. That is kind of why we made a deal in the first place, is because I didn't want that, and I just wanted to, you know, just double check, see if everything's good, if there's anything you need me to do, if anything I can just do for you, you know, just checking.
Gwendolyn,
Yes.
Gwendolyn,
Yes.
calm down.
I know, it's so much.
You cannot catch the blood plague.
Okay.
I made that promise with you, and you paid the price I demanded.
Sure did. I totally remember that.
And now you're free.
It's good to know that I'm still immune. I just, you know, it's been a while since we've checked in. We haven't really checked in since prison, so okay.
Oh, I watch you.
Oh, that's real comforting. Can you maybe, like, is there a way to get through this hellscape of a forest swamp to get to a not dead zone where I can just live my life again and not in prison or dead in a swamp?
Of course.
Good.
I would love for you to cross the swamp into Arkhamberry Cathedral.
Oh, you have been watching. Good.
When you reach the cathedral, I might even have a new deal for you.
Oh,
I think you'll find it very interesting.
well, I'm definitely interested. Intrigued. You color me intrigued. Just pencil it in on your calendar. It's just
There's no easy way across the swamp.
okay. Of course, there's not
Go the direct path,
a direct path.
the quickest way.
Yes. All right. Thank you. I will keep that in mind when my compatriots and I journey out in the morning. It's been lovely chatting with you again. It's been some time.
Are they your friends, Gwendolyn?
Well, I do rather think with some of them. Others I'm not so sure about. But that Senkar fellow, he's got it right. He's a good chap, that one.
Good. I will keep that in mind.
Sorry, Senkar. Yes. And Officer Anderson, he seems very responsible. Those two are alright. I'm not sure about the other two yet, but the compatriots at least, you know.
Is there anything else you need?
No, there's no easy way to cross this one. I think this is all. It's been lovely chatting. I'm going to go dream of happy things now. Hopefully, maybe not undead things.
Roll a charisma saving throw.
Okay. Not awful.
The bodies strapped to the table begin to twitch, begin to struggle
Great.
against their restraints. But you are in control of this dream to an extent. And as you've practiced in the dungeons, you are able to force this image out of your mind. You move to the darkness, and you sleep peacefully for the rest of the evening.
Great.
Greasy.
Mm-hmm.
You stir as your fort of twigs and branches at one point at night collapses in on you. It's just not held up very well together, and it's enough force not to hurt you, but to wake you up.
Yeah, I get it.
There you see, in the tree line, not far from you, the man in the wheelchair, smiling at you.
I would go up to him without a second thought. But I would put my hand on my book, too.
Your book seems to vibrate in your hand.
Yep.
Have you changed your mind then, Gracie?
No, of course not. I want to know what you know.
It would take you many years to learn everything I have learned. But most importantly, you must learn of the blood plague before it takes your body. Surely you can feel it now in your bones, in your blood.
I can feel it in my bones, and I've tried to leave my friends, and I will leave them. If you'll help me, and if you'll help me, I don't need a cure. I just need to know.
Come. He offers you his hand. Take my hand.
I do.
I will show you the truth, Gracie. It's just a little ways. We'll be there by morning.
Is it in the waterfall?
Yes.
I'll go.
Help me. The woods are treacherous, and I am old.
I can help you. I have special gifts. If you'll take me where I need you to go.
Just push me, girl. I'll show you the way.
I'll get behind him.
And he'll put his hands together. Between them, a small ball of light will appear, and that light will give off a faint glow, enough light for you to see forward into the woods. And he releases his palms, and that ball floats up into the air, and it travels and shows you the way through the woods, through the dark.
What do I see?
It's a long trek. You see the eyes of forest animals, dead leaves and broken branches. It seems like the night is never going to end, like you've been walking forever, pushing this old man forever. He breathes quietly. Sometimes you're not even sure if he's breathing at all.
I would, at those moments when I don't know if he's breathing, tap him on his shoulder and maybe say, "Where are you taking me? You've got to stay awake to show me the path."
And each time he will place over his shoulder his hand on your hand and say, "Don't worry, girl. It's not far now. And it's very beautiful."
I would keep going. Where are my friends in the background of this? Anywhere close at all?
You've left them far, far behind. You've traveled miles through the woods in the opposite direction of Arkhambury Cathedral.
Mm-hmm. That's fine.
The sun begins to rise, and even as it rises, you reach a clearing, the two of you together. There in that clearing, you see a lush overgrowth of green trees, bushes full of colorful flowers. This is unlike the rest of the forest. Life is here. You see deer drinking from a crystal clear lake. Small animals move around. None of them are scared by you. None of them seem to wander away from you. And there at the edge of that lake, a waterfall.
I would get around to the front of his wheelchair and I would look at him in his face, and I would, hold his hands, put my hands near his lap and say, like, is this what you've brought me to? Is this where I'll find my answers?
All of the answers, girl, lie on the other side of that water. My home, my life's work.
And will you come with me?
I will be there with you in a way.
Can you tell me your name, at least?
They have called me many things in my long life. There's only one true name. The name that I gave myself.
What is that?
Reshef.
Reshef. I'm Gracie. I've never heard of you, but if what you're trying to show me is something important, something real, I will make sure others know your name.
I
don't think Gracie is an important name.
Oh, I disagree, Gracie. You are very important to me. I have come all this way for you. Will you go just a little further?
I would look around and see nobody. And I would say, at this point, I'd go anywhere with you.
It's not a deep lake, girl. Can you swim?
I can swim.
Through the water, through the fall, there is a cave behind, and in that cave, my home. Meet me there.
Now?
Now.
I would take off and I would jump in.
The water's cold, not too cold. It's refreshing. You can see to the bottom of it, fish swimming beneath you, colorful schools. You think you hear a distant music, strings, somewhere behind the waterfall. It's all very soothing. And as you swim through the water, closer to the waterfall, the deer, the rabbits, the creatures of the forest, they've all turned and they are watching you peacefully.
How do I feel?
It's comforting. It's tranquil. After the hell that you have witnessed and being in a dungeon, this is the closest to heaven that you've felt in some time, maybe ever.
feeling that, I would just swim forward, try to find like a peaceful feeling that I'm looking for, trying to feel like I'm not ill, trying to feel like even if I am ill, I'm not going to matter where I'm going.
You don't feel sick, at least not at the moment. You swim forward. You're now at that point where the waterfall gently crests into the lake, and you can see beyond it a sort of opening.
Does it look like a waterfall that I've seen in my vision?
It does.
I'll try to swim to it and try to swim under it if I can.
You can. The water's cold on your face, makes you feel alive, and you swim through it to the mouth of a cave, and within, no light, it's darkness.
I'll swim in underneath the waterfall to where the light is, and I'll put my hands together. And I'll pray off for some guidance from Ilmater if he's even here at this point. If not, I'm willing to pray to whoever is. I'm not sworn to him at this point anymore. I just want to know answers, and I want to know how I fit into this.
You lift your voice to Ilmater, but he doesn't answer, just like the last times you prayed to him. You
I'll put my hand on my journal.
And the journal vibrates. That's when the whispers begin. And you hear the voice of Reshef again. Just a little further, girl. And that's where we'll cut away from Gracie. Deadeye Donnell, Officer Anderson, Zenkar. When the witching hour comes, you all share another dream. You're all together wandering through a rotting bog when a strange and gentle music begins to tickle your ears. It's faint at first, faint and distant, but no matter your direction, no matter where you look or move, the phantom song grows louder. It drifts and dances over swirling mist, carrying with it a lovely female voice. As you listen to her song, you feel as though maybe this song is meant for you.
Officer Anderson's going to look around, listening to the song, and just take stock of who's around him, what's going on, and kind of keep following just the direction that they were walking when they first kind of woke into the stream. Just going to keep walking forward.
Where are we? Do you hear that music?
Well, looks like we're in the swamp still, and I hear something.
Sounds beautiful.
Yeah.
Everyone roll me a wisdom saving throw. Well, just the three of you.
Nat 1.
Mine's not rolling.
Good, because you probably get a third nat one.
It's a +0, so I'll just roll a 1d20. All right, my Chrome's crashed. I can't do anything. Let me reload
Here,
it.
I'll roll for you if you want to reboot.
Okay, no, that's fine. It can't be any worse than what I roll.
My Chrome crashed earlier.
14.
Hey, 14
Officer
plus
Anderson and Zenkar, as you move forward, you come to the realization that you're not even controlling your feet anymore. They're moving forward on their own volition, drawn to the source of that music. Deadeye Donnell, you feel uneasy.
like uneasy as I don't think this is a thing we should be doing right now.
Something about this is definitely not right. Where are you? How did you get here? Where's Gwendolyn? Where's Gracie?
Anderson, Gwendolyn's missing. Gracie's not here. Why? We shouldn't be going on without them. This is...
No. And music, let's keep walking.
No, Anderson,
Yeah.
You said you were going to save us all. You know, that was your thing. Why would you leave anyone behind?
Am I not? We're all here. Let's keep walking.
Gwendolyn's gone. Gracie's gone. Where are they? Why are we here?
They must be in this direction, because it calls.
Yeah.
I
gotta be.
I didn't take my watch. You never woke me for my watch. How are we walking now?
Well, obviously, I woke you. We're all awake now. Come, let's keep going. I mean, if they're not here, I mean, they gotta be up ahead. Come on, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Just a little further.
Donald will put a hand on Anderson's shoulder and try and stop him from moving forward.
Make me opposed athletics checks.
Oh, this is going to go great.
Going against the monk.
2.
17.
Anderson's able to shrug you off. It's much more forceful than you thought it would be.
Come on, Donald. Hey, come on. What's the big deal, man? Let's go. Come on. They're this way. They're this way.
I'm not leaving without Gracie and Gwendolyn.
No, we're going to go find them. Come on.
Why would they not be with us? Why do we have to find them? They were with us when we fell asleep.
They must already be there. We're late.
Gwendolyn would not have gone into the bog by herself.
No. She's with Gracie, obviously. They found a pathway. See?
On that point, Gwendolyn would be nowhere close to Gracie.
Would that make sense to us?
It makes sense, but your feet are still moving.
Okay. Well,
I'd love to stop, but can't.
Why?
Kazuth calls.
No.
I mean, if you're hearing the same music
us.
I'm hearing, it's not Kazuth.
Hey guys,
Kazuth must be calling you also. Obviously, you are disciples.
Donald, as they are moving, are you like trying to keep up with them?
I've kind of stopped a bit, and I'm just trying to plead with them to stop. But if they get too far ahead, I'll go with them.
Are we then now sentient that we are walking and we can't stop?
You're aware that your feet are moving of their own volition. It's uncomfortable.
Okay. Well, look, I think you may be right here, Donald. My legs aren't stopping. He starts looking around for he's gonna pass by, see if he can grab it and hold his body in place. Can he do that if he passes near anything?
You do. You pass by a tree. It's a sloping willow.
All right,
He's sunken into the swamp.
He's gonna lean out and try and grab that while his body's still walking.
All right, and you're able to do so and stop yourself for the moment. Zenkar, what about you?
Just holding on to it.
Look, I place full trust in Kazuth. Okay, obviously, this must be him. I crit failed.
Zenka, hey, try.
What?
What do you?
Are you not coming?
Well, I mean, my legs want to, but Zenka, this is not making sense. Come on, think about it. Try stopping your legs. Oh God, I'm arguing with a madman.
I don't think they're stopping. I'm trying to stop, but I don't think they're stopping.
Hey, Zenkar, I've got one idea for you. How about that?
Donald, just tackle him already, man.
Would your god take you to a place that wasn't on fire? I don't see fire here. Do you?
It must be far off in the distance.
Donald,
Where there's smoke, there's fire. Do you see smoke?
I will look way into the distance.
You do not see smoke, but you still continue on, and he's almost out of your line of sight now, the both of you.
Donald, quit arguing with him and tackle him all.
Fine. And I'll sprint ahead and try and I'll try and tackle Zenkar.
Give me 2 opposed athletics checks.
Oh, this is going to be grand.
My athletics isn't that great either.
Hey, 14. Not bad. Oh, never mind.
Except right now.
Zenkar stiff arms Donald straight into the swamp. It's at that point that around the 2 of you, and Officer Anderson, you'll see this too, though you're a little further away. The heavy fog seems to lift as you have reached a clearing, and north of you, a number of small islands raise up out of the waist-high marsh. The largest island is in the center of the clearing, and an old stone altar rises some 10 feet above it. The monument shows dozens of runes, writings carved into its surface, many of them hidden by time and wild overgrowth. Now, you can just make out, along with the music, the faint whimpering of something from the top of the altar. You can't be sure what it is from where you stand, but 3 female creatures stand on 3 separate patches and a triangular shape around the altar, each of them facing it. The youngest of the 3 is a plain but pretty-looking maiden in a muddy gown, and she that's singing the song that brought you here. The strangest and most maddening of the 3 is a tall, plump creature wearing a torn nightgown, but with the head of a great horned bull. The oldest of the 3 is a crooked-spined crone with long, flowing white hair and a slimy, oozing tail that snakes out from beneath a black dress, the sort of dress that a widow would wear. All of the women turn their heads towards you, just for a short moment, and then they look back to the altar.
That's not Kasuth.
I think Anderson, by this point, would have let go of the tree to catch up with the group.
Have we stopped moving forward?
Field, yeah. Have we stopped?
You now have control over your feet.
Okay.
I suggest we go the other direction, like back the way we came right now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's, Zenkar, come on. Let's just back away slowly here. And
Oh, I'm running.
Anderson's going to step back slow, watching the creatures to see what they do. Well, the maiden and the creatures.
Donald drags himself out of the swamp.
Zenkar, what are you doing?
If they don't seem to be paying attention, I'm just going to sit and watch, try to figure out what they're doing.
The song continues. The crone speaks in a guttural tongue, alien words. Anderson, you'll see this as you glance back over your shoulder, that now, as you're moving back up to higher ground, there's a person atop this altar.
This person is. Can I stop and try and really take a look, see who this is, if I can?
Roll me a perception check. It's Gracie.
Hey, Donald.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah.
Grace.
It's Gracie.
Yeah. Look, we need to go back there now. And Anderson at that point is going to kind of turn, not even looking to see if Donald's coming, but he's going to go into a light jog and start heading back toward her.
Back already?
You're wading through the swamp as quickly as you can. Are Zenkar and Deadeye Donald joining him?
I'm going to stop beside Zenkar and try to appraise the situation because those 3 women freak me out.
You're able to watch, yes.
No, go ahead.
No, Deadeye Donald and Zenkar are able to watch from their vantage point without getting closer.
Anderson's going to move forward. Does he have his club with him?
He does, and he's still a ways off, but you're getting closer.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
He's onto that club a little bit tighter, popping his knuckles, watching all three of them, glancing from one to the other, back to the other, seeing if there's any signs of movement or change as he moves forward. Just watching as he gets closer.
The three figures don't seem to change, and you can no longer see Gracie's shape on the altar as you've gone lower, deeper, and it's now above you. But as you work your way through the swamp, that heavy fog returns, rolling over and smothering the altar, the area around you. And from within that fog, you think you hear a voice, a female voice. Save me. And then you hear another sound, the suckling, the slurping of something else. For a moment, through the mist, you see something.
Anderson breaks off into a faster run and then hopefully into a full-on sprint through the can, charging for it.
You explode through the mist and find yourself on that small island. The three figures are gone, but now you can see what was making that sound. Him in his true hideous beauty, a tentacled thing with 1,000 eyes and 1,000 faces and 1,000 hungry limbs that reach out in every direction.
Anderson, as he's sprinting into this and bursting into the fog, he sees it and he puts on the brakes and just kind of stops, slides, and just looks at it and just lets out, taking in the sight of this thing. And then he starts looking near the base of it, to the sides of it. Where's Gracie?
You don't see Gracie.
He kind of freezes in place and sweat starts his hands and on his forehead, and he's looking to the left, to the right at the creature, and kind of licks his lips, and then very slowly, 1 step back, 2 steps back, 3 back. He's going to start backing up very, very slowly.
Before you withdraw back into the fog so that you don't have to see what you're seeing any longer, staring at this creature, maybe a god, maybe something else. You watch as its smooth, rubbery flesh opens up like a flower, and inside of that flower, you see the old tattooed elf sitting in his wheelchair. He smiles at you and holds up in his hand a shriveled organ, his own heart. It's still beating. Thump, 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 thump. Thump, thump. And then you pull back into the fog. And that fog takes your vision, Zenkar's vision, Donald's vision. And you drift back to a restless sleep. The 4 of you, including Lady Gwendolyn, all wake up come dawn.
And
What a restful, wonderful night's sleep that was.
Anderson awakes with a gasp, a heavy gasp on top of the hill. And he's covered in sweat, a little bit of dust just sits up, looking around, shaking, and covered in sweat, taking stock of what's around him.
Did Zenkar and Donald see the tentacle beast? Or did we just see mist?
You could see shapes moving and writhing through the mist, unless you decided, and this is your choice, did you step forward? Did you move through the fog?
Oh, no.
And you only saw vague...
Gracie did, though.
Gracie saw.
Sorry.
Continue.
Well, I feel all rested and ready to go. Let's get to that chapel.
Anderson, what happened to watches?
What?
Oh yes, wasn't I supposed to be on watch? Is it my watch? Did I slip through it?
I'm sorry. I fell asleep, and he's gonna slowly get up and stand, and he's still shaking a little bit, covered in sweat and a little bit of dust, and a slight tremble in his voice. Just, yeah, I fell asleep. Did you guys happen to last night? Did you hear
Talking
that?
about a dream?
In the
I don't know.
Bad music?
Something.
Foggy place? Zenkar wanting it to be the fire realm of his god?
Anderson kind of pauses and looks at him with like haunted eyes. He's like, "You were there too, huh?"
Yeah, and you were being pig-headed and wanted to run in for no reason into the fog?
You kidding me? I mean, it's just a dream, but it was Gracie. She was on the table in there, but whenever I got in there, it wasn't Gracie.
Oh yes, we should go check on Gracie. I'm sure the poor girl is much better today. Everything will be fine.
Gracie, he shit, and he's gonna turn and run out to the bottom of the hill and see if he can see Gracie.
You better follow him.
You don't see Gracie. Is everyone following?
Oh yes, I'll go. I'm not afraid to be near her anymore. I think I was just overreacting ever since today. Everything's just fine and dandy. Let's go through this swamp as quickly as possible in the most direct path towards Arkenberry.
Anderson's going to be at the bottom of the hill screaming out Gracie's name. Gracie! Like he's calling as loud as he can for her.
Anderson, you look down to your feet, and what you see is what looks like a makeshift shelter of some kind that wasn't there at the forest's edge before. And torn and hanging from one of the broken branches, a scrap of the clothing that Gracie was wearing the night before.
Goes to the rubble pile and looks for her and pulls out the scrap, and he's frantically turning it over, looking for blood, looking to verify that it's indeed hers, and looking at the ruins and trying to look for a pathway, anything. He's kind of in a panic. And he's going to look first. I'll let you say whatever.
No, roll me a check. I'll let you do investigation or survival.
I think it's swamp wolves.
Survival check, 17.
It's not entirely fresh, but you do see here and there splatters of blood. Looks like droplets that have stained grass or leaves or even the sides of trees. The sort of thing you would expect from a cough or from a drip. It's almost like a trail. And you think with some effort you could follow it, but it goes into the woods in the opposite direction of Arkenberry Forest.
And Officer Anderson there's going to stand there thinking about the predicament and the realization of you head that way, it's the wrong way. But you also head that way, and there's blood. And then he looks back to the group, and he's waving like, come here quick. Come here.
All right. I'm hustling.
Yeah, he's going to show him the torn cloth and the fabric, and look, I think this is Gracie's.
I believe it was.
Gracie's not there, and she's, in fact, nowhere to be found.
And I think this is hers, and I don't. Look, you were there with the dream, Donald Zenkar. Look, something's not right here. All right, I think something's terribly wrong. On an altar in that dream. That's you were there for the dream. I charged into that fog to see if I could get her, and when I got in there was something. There was a 1,000-eyed beast, and it opened up, and this bald, rotting elf man or something was in the middle, holding his beating heart. And there's no Gracie, there's no nothing. Like, look, something's not right here. All right, I think we need to go after her on this one.
Gracie can't hear what he's saying, can he?
She cannot. Wherever Gracie is now, she is far away.
With the voice of her journal.
I don't know about you guys, but I've been trying to keep an eye on Gracie this entire time because she seemed like the sweet, nice one that needed protection, but she's left us several times. She's been cavorting with dead things. And now you're telling me in a dream she runs off with a tentacle beast guy thing?
No, not necessarily they run off with a tentacle beast guy, but it's like she was the beast.
Okay, fair enough.
There was
Let's
an
go
altar, and then
Berries
there was-
that way. Let's head on. Double time,
I
everyone.
have it under good authority that we should head directly to Arkenberry.
I'm
Straight
sorry.
away.
I get nothing but bad feelings too. Okay, like she was acting really weird the other night, and then the blood coming out of the eyes, and
Yes,
she doesn't stand a chance
it's
in here. All
probably
right,
the blood plague, but that's fine.
She's
like,
like,
it could
It
be
affect any of
night.
you.
you know, she could be walking with a fever or something. You know, I get that, but look, she's got no chance. She will die if we don't go after her. Look, you guys want to go? I gotta go after her on this. All right, I'm not gonna just leave her here to die.
All right, so just explain to me real quick. You went and chased her in a dream that was specifically, if it's the same one I had, where you were enchanted to go against your will. Then when you ran on your own way, you ended up seeing a tentacle beast in mist. Now, I saw the three people, the women, the weird one with the bull head, the other crone-looking one, and the young one that was singing and enchanting you two. I think that's a warning. We go after Gracie. We play with Tentacle Beast Guy.
Ew.
I doubt it. A premonition would have more fire.
Right. Anderson, listen. I know you've promised to protect us all. You're doing a damn good job of it, the best you can.
Yes, brother.
But just like we had to leave Diggory, I think it's time to leave Gracie.
Yeah, but Diggory was
Doomed.
Grace life, and if
Well,
You
You know,
don't
if
know
it's just
that. It's been 8 hours. She's gone.
look, this blood on this could be, her
all right,
walking in
how
fever dream.
about you have
down.
5 minutes to track follow this blood trail, and if you don't find Gracie, you walk the 5 minutes back. We'll give you 10 minutes.
No, how about you guys start heading towards the cathedral?
Anderson, you
And
already
I'll
said you
come and
can't
find
survive
you.
alone in this swamp.
You did.
So if you go that way, you're basically saying, I'm going to go die a painful death. The four of us stay together, we will survive at Arkenberry.
But then she's doomed to die.
Well, she already has the blood plague, dear. Blood is
We
going to
might
come
be
out of every
doing-
pore, and she's going to melt into a blood puddle. I've seen it happen. It happened to my sister. It was graphic and horrible.
Yeah, I've seen it too from walking the streets. All right, I'm not a novice when it comes to walking the slums and seeing what it does to people. All right.
Well, then you know it's also very contagious, and if you find her, bring her back, and she's in like stage 3 of plagueness, she could get you or Zenkar or Donald infected.
Hell,
I mean, not me. I'm immune. But
Of course.
yes.
I wonder why you weren't in the dream last night either.
Oh, I was having a fantastic dream.
Really?
Yes, I
Care to
was.
tell us about it?
Oh well,
Must
you
have
see,
been
I was-
nice.
I was chatting with an old chum, we could say. And then it started to get a little creepy with undead. I think it's because we've seen so many of them in the past, 24, 48 hours. And so then I just decided, oh, maybe not zombies. And then instead, I was just living the good life and a life of luxury. It was really nice. It was very pleasant.
Yeah,
So was this an old elven man in a wheelchair smoking a pipe?
He may have looked something like that, but he was someone who could change his appearance
Shit.
like me. With a little
Wait,
bit of makeup.
something like that, or was that?
Well, it's hard to say, really. It was a dream.
Hey, Zenkai, is your god taking new adherents? I think we're surrounded by people who like this elven guy that's giving everyone the plague.
Yes, it's very strange. I hear a lot about him, but only recently.
But we see, the thing is, the last time I saw him, he was definitely not an old man in a wheelchair. So I think he was just pulling, it could have been because we had that other dream and there was the guy who looked like that. I don't know. Dreams are fickle.
Oh, look, dreams are no dreams. We are in a swamp, and I did that. We should stay together and get all of this, and I guess it seems one has decided to move on our own. But we're alive, so let's go on. Let's
Arkenberry.
let's get walking. Come on.
Right, let's go.
And Anderson's gonna, if the group's gonna start moving, Anderson's just gonna take a moment and kind of the blood scrap cloth and look in the direction she went, just kind of not really longingly, but just in thought about it and not liking this one bit. He's just gonna fold the cloth, stick it in his, look back in the distance to be like, I'm sorry. He said the same thing when Diggory was lost, and he looks out there thinking she's lost now and just says, I'm sorry, and walks and joins.
So the four of you all turn away from the tree line in the forest and begin to trek through the swamp in the direction of Arkenberry Forest.
And, the other three might notice that Gwendolyn has a really interesting sword with her, because she has not put her packed weapon away. She's gonna keep that out. A little short sword at her waist. It's
Probably just found it in the
yeah,
elven ruins.
definitely, yeah.
Nothing special.
It's just a little. It's kind of black, jagged. Maybe radiates a little bit of heat. Zenkar probably like that.
Anderson will keep looking over where they were at and where they're headed, looking for maybe a sign that she's there, but he'll take note of the sword, but he's not going to be talking much. He's just going to be in thought and walking.
Where did you find that?
Oh, this old thing. I've had it on me this whole time.
Really?
Yes,
Oh.
it's the alleged murder weapon from the reason I got thrown in prison. I was able to hide it and conceal it just in case,
Able to conceal that?
Yes.
Impressive.
Yes, thank you.
You concealed that in the prison.
I did.
Where?
A woman has her ways.
That's what I'm thinking of, and it's quite disturbing, to be honest with you.
Lady doesn't reveal all her secrets.
Good lord.
Somewhere far off, as the group begins to trek through the swamp and through the mists into the direction of Arkenberry Cathedral, in a dark cave, we return to Gracie. Beneath the waterfall, there is no light here, Gracie. It's completely dark, but there's something comforting about it. You've been here, you don't know, minutes, hours, you're not sure. Just you and your book.
So I'll take my book out of my pocket or out of whatever I'm keeping it in, and I'll look at it. I'll hold it at first, and I'll open it up.
And it flaps open on its own accord, and barely the slightest touch, the pages flip, turning to a specific page, one that it's open to several times. A small dim light glows from the book.
I'll try to read that light. Is it in any language or anything that I know or anything that I would know?
It's not a language you can read. It's a language that you can hear. And it's a voice that you know. Gracie, my girl, you're finally here. What is it you wish to know?
I wish to know everything.
Everything will take a long time, but time
That's okay.
we have plenty of.
Do we?
Oh, yes. You will find that you will not die of the blood plague, that you will live longer than any girl, any woman. You and I. So tell me, what is it you wish to know first?
What causes it, the first step, the pathogen?
It's designed. It's not natural. And the one who designed it to be clever. Through touch, through air, through wounds. It travels through water, through blood.
So it can infect anyone, even without a cut. Travels through air.
Not just infect, much more, Gracie. It transforms.
And how is it cured? Voice in my head.
The crows know a way, but it's weak.
The crows.
It doesn't work for everyone. And the plague, the transformation, it evolves. It will change the world, Gracie. It will hurt at first, and then there will be peace, just like I have shown you peace.
Can there be peace from a plague that kills people that shouldn't be killed?
When you live to be as old as I, you realize one truth above all other truths, and that you cannot look at the world from the single viewpoint of a day, a moment, a breath. You must look at the world in the long term. Yes, there is sadness and there is death, but when it is all said and done, the world will be much better off. The world destroys itself as it is civil war, cruelty. It doesn't need a plague. It needs to evolve. Will you help me with that?
I don't know you, and I don't know what your end game is, but I will help. I feel like it is my job to know about this, and I will help until I figure out what the goal is, and then I will decide. But yes.
Good girl, Gracie. You've been such a very good girl. You see, in the distance, the direction you came, a glowing light that looks like you can see a natural light at the end of this tunnel. You're no longer alone in the darkness.
What's near? Where are my friends?
You don't see them. What looks like the light outside looks like daylight to you, in the direction of the waterfall, and you're just in a simple, wet cave, empty of anyone but you. No tunnels, no doors, just you and the waterfall and lake from which you came.
And the voice for my book told me to go in an opposite direction of them?
Mm-hmm.
I'll go.
You continue on, move towards that light, and you emerge back into the day onto a rocky outcropping edge. You move, it feels strange. You're swaying, you're heavier, something's different. You're hanging. And then you look into the crystal clear waters of the lake and you see your reflection. It's strange. You're looking at yourself. You're looking at a creature, a bear, a black bear. The creature's fur is mostly fallen out, exposing gray patches of rotted flesh underneath. And when that creature, that thing, rises onto its hind legs, and you're staring at it into the reflection of this lake, you see yourself, your upper torso fused to the underbelly of this bear, fused to the flesh of its stomach. You and this creature are one. Your face is pallid, your skin is gray, blood is streaming down your eyes, pouring from every pore in your body. And you hear the voice in your head speak to you again. We have so much time, Gracie.
We have so much time. Where are my friends in relation to this bear?
Many miles away.
Perfect.
And that is where we will end our session for tonight.
Oh my gosh. Whew.
Yeah. Wow.
You sure you wanted to go after her, Officer Anderson? You're just really...
God!
Hey, Anderson doesn't know any of this stuff, okay?
Wow. That was absolutely amazing. I got goosebumps. This is crazy. That is session 2 of our Blood Plague trilogy. Crazy, crazy. Oh my gosh. That was amazing. Absolutely amazing. I don't even have words yet, so I'm gonna make someone else talk first. So we're gonna...
I'll go.
Okay, yeah, just, where we can find you, what you thought of the session, favorite part.
Okay, so my name is Lydia.
You're a bear person.
And you can find me on Twitter at CastleMacLydia and most other places. My favorite part is basically everything. I'm so excited that I'm leading the Blood Plague on this. I possibly have the Blood Plague. I maybe do. 99% sure I do. I'm excited that Jonathan Fry has used my journal here to get me here where I am. I'm just so happy and so excited that I'm probably going to kill all my friends.
I was definitely private messaging Lydia. I was like, we both have the same patron. We're going to be the murder babes, and we're just going to kill everybody.
I didn't even have the same patron.
so excited to die by you two. It's gonna be
Yeah,
great.
I really hope Gracie gets to look at that book and be like, "Oh, I can read this. It's an epistle. I'm fine. I'm fluent. It's fine."
Oh my god, you have the same patron?
What a coincidence! Twinsies.
Simcar, burn them all.
Yes, let's just put them all. Thank you so much, Lydia. Definitely check her out. She's pretty awesome. Let's go down from Lydia to the person who wants to burn the world.
Yeah.
Zendikar.
Yeah. I'm D20 Coup de Grace on Twitch. Let's see. Favorite part. Well, I can tell you my least favorite part.
Yes.
Well, I did like the bee fight. That was pretty fun.
It was crazy.
Let's see. I also liked lighting everyone on fire.
Yeah.
For healing. Thank you for DMing this again, and I'm so excited to play in it. I can't wait till the next episode.
Awesome. Excellent. Let's go to our our very suspicious Deadeye Donald for good reasons.
Yeah, Donald's gone from looking to look out for Gracie to be like, I think I'm just going to stab her the next time I see her, to Gracie, that kind of thing.
I'm just going back and reading the chat. Was I like really giggling while like things were happening? Because
Yes.
people were telling me to like mute my mic.
Yeah, I'm Deception Check. I play on Lindy's Twitch channel. We have a new game starting up Tuesdays, where second show's coming very soon. It's great, a lot of fun. But this game, oh my god, if we could just make this into a regular series where we just create characters to get stabbed in the back by their friends, wonderful. Absolutely
Really?
wonderful. This is great. I can't really pick a moment tonight that was better than any other. I love how happy Gracie looks as she's just planning our demise. It makes this all worthwhile to know that we will be sacrificed on the pyre of our friends' insanity. I can't wait. Thank you so much.
Loved
You're
it.
welcome.
Officer Anderson, how you doing?
But to breathe, I'm Shiny Pilot 206. You can find me pretty much just here. I don't really do any streams. I just join in the games, Tuesday night games, and I guess Monday night games as well too, where we play. So yeah, Shiny Pilot 206 at Twitch. I had a great time. I'm still processing everything that just happened in this game today. It really sucked me in. Everybody was so on point for and how things were portrayed, the storytelling, everything was it's fantastic. It was fun. Favorite part was probably the being set on fire to be healed, because you got me. I thought you were gonna actually I was like, I survived this, you're gonna die. And then it went down and become really intense with the nightmares and the event with Gracie and the speaking voice and the bear at the end there. Oh my god. So yeah, that's about it.
Yes, for sure. Don, what did you think of today's game? Where can we find you?
I thought you guys did pretty good. No, I loved it. I really loved everybody's characters. I feel like everybody found like a next level from the first episode, which is always fun. And that's why when we did the first episode as like a one shot, I was like, oh man, but yeah, like this would be great if we just did a little bit more. And I'm really enjoying getting to, get to know you guys and get to play with you, because you guys are a lot of fun and I like this kind of game. This is my jam. So that's me. You can find me online at Donathan Fry on Twitter. I play in other games, a lot of them with Lindy, and I DM every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Greg's channel. That's Grimjack21502 on Twitch. It's Me Black Roses Bloom. It's a Dark Dragonlands D&D game adapted to 5th edition. Not quite as bananas grotesque as the Blood Plague, but still dark fantasy with a great cast. And I'm really enjoying that. That's it. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for sticking around when my internet and power got destroyed by a storm for a little while. I'm glad we stuck through it because I loved today. I had so much fun.
For sure. I had an absolute blast. That was fantastic. My brain has processed a little bit more now. Gwendolyn's definitely losing it. She thought she'd get more sane after getting out of prison. The answer is no. She's losing it. I'm pretty sure her and Gracie are going to be murder babes. It's going to be great. Yep. So excited. My patron's the best. Sorry, guys. My favorite part was definitely, aside from the murder beats, I thought we were all going to die. Like, well, this is a TPK. Was Sinkar rolling over. He's like, all right, I pour oil all over Anderson and light him on fire. That was just so great. Perfect moment. Absolutely loved it. Meanwhile, yeah, I'm Left Love Lindy. This is my channel. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, sticking through the power outage from the ice storm. The blood plague prevailed, defeated ice. You know, blood versus ice. Blood wins. And yeah, just check out me on Twitter and everything for where I'm going live when I'm on a lot of other streams, doing a lot of stuff. But we are going to do a little raid to, let's see, it's faster for me to look it up on my phone. Let's do Monty Cook Games, I think. Oh wait, nope, that's a replay. Just kidding. We want someone live. Let's read Encounter Roleplay. Yeah. They are playing The Order, so that is their viewer game, and they're super duper awesome, super duper fun. So raid Encounter Roleplay. I can type. Boom. Thank you guys. Y'all are the best. These guys are the best. Everyone's amazing. We're all gonna die. Terrible, horrible ways. Bye.
Bye.